are now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so, please shoot that like button to this stream. It definitely does help out with the YouTube algorithm a ton, as well as if you happen to be a new viewer coming by this stream, do yourself a favor, shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel, especially if you're a fan of horror. We'd love for you guys to join this growing community that we have here on YouTube. Well, guys, you know, it's already been a month since the release of Scream 6. Scream 6 is already 1 month old. Can you fucking believe this shit? Just already 4 weeks ago, we were all going to the theaters, you know, most of us anyway, going to the theaters, ready to see this movie and how it plays out. And now that a lot of us have at least fortunately got to watch the movie multiple times, we definitely have broke down a lot, you know, in terms of Scream 6, what has been happening, what happened, theories or what have you. And now we're on the road to Scream 7. And it's definitely going to be very interesting to see where this franchise and where these writers and directors are going to go from here. As I stated in my video the other day, I know there's a possibility that we might get new writers for Scream 7. We're going to touch on that. And this is just going to be a fun time, everyone. I cannot wait to dig into it. And as you guys are well aware, I have a guest here with me tonight, a really good friend of the channel and just in life in general, my good buddy Destin from Destination Station. What is going on, Destin?
What's up, buddy? Thank you for having me, man.
Of course, man. I'm glad you hit me up because I wasn't going to stream tonight. But as soon as you hit me up and was like, "Yo, you streaming tonight?" I knew you wanted to stream, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's put it together."
Yeah, man. I had a pretty interesting weekend. That was it was a lot of family time, and you know, you got Easter and everything going on. So,
right.
It's
by the way, how was Easter?
How
was Easter with the family?
It wasn't bad. I actually had to work, and I was Saturday though. Like but I work. You know, I work here, so I was still able to like.
I shot him 6 times.
Wow.
I got scared.
So, guys, I'm so sorry. Real quick, I am operating from my phone because my laptop's not down. It's just my Ethernet port where my box is down. So, like, I don't want to just live stream on just Wi-Fi. It's better to do it from the phone's mobile network because I get way better stable connection. So, I'm still trying to learn the controls here and stuff like that. So, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Now, Destin, finish what you were saying, my friend.
I said something wrong or something. I was like, uh-oh.
No, you're good, buddy.
No. I mean, it was good. You know, I went to a concert Saturday with the family and just kind of had a little
Who'd you guys go see?
Dude, I don't even know. It was some free band, but it was a lot of fun watching a lot of old white people get down and boogie to some disco music. I was just look, here's the thing, like me and my wife, we like to people watch. We like to just sit there and just watch people react. and so that's what we did. We're like, oh, this thing's free, it's outside, it's like a disco band or something, and seeing all these like older white people just like trying to get down. I'm like, this is really awkward, but it's very entertaining.
Hell yeah, man. That's love, man. That's for real. I love seeing that type of shit for real. I remember this one video where I saw where the old heads, I think were they were doing some dance to the hip hop. I mean, it was in a nursing home. And they all got together and was doing the boogie to some hip hop song.
Yeah,
but
I think I know what
that shit
about.
had me fucking rolling because they was killing it.
Yeah.
They was killing it to some of the young folks.
Yeah,
like it was crazy.
Yeah, and I saw one, but I mean, it's not the actual music, but somebody dubbed some music over it of people in a church, and they were just like getting down and.
That's
dude,
great.
I don't know what it is, man, but it's so good. Hey, man, I hope I can move that well when I'm their age. You know, like I don't even know if I can move that well now. So,
Bro, tell me about
more
it,
props
man.
to him.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Like, for real. I pray to God that I'm as spry as I am in my 60s and 70s that I am now. Like, it's crazy. Like, I pray for that, but you know, it's 50-50.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Right, exactly. Exactly, man. I know for a fact that you've been out of the scene for a little bit because you have been busy or whatever. So before
Yeah.
we get into our theories and all that stuff for Scream 7, we can get caught up for Scream 6. I know you've seen it twice. You know what I mean? I would like to know your general overall thoughts on it after seeing it twice. And, then we can talk about some things you'd like to see for Scream 7 as well.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So real quick, though, before we do get into the conversation, I do want to check out everybody who's here. I see we have 5 people here right now. I greatly appreciate you guys all stopping in. Do me a favor, guys, if you haven't done so already, shoot that like button. I'm trying to get the stream to at least 30 likes. Hopefully we can make that happen. So it would definitely be appreciated. And I will touch on this real quick. For those of you, because I remember a couple weeks ago when we did a live stream, Destin, if I'm not mistaken, it was Brock Willis. Yeah, he asked about, your super chatting and all that stuff. And at that time, I didn't have 1,000 subscribers or what have you. Well, you guys might see I have 1,000 subscribers and stuff like that, but I'm actually not monetized yet because I went to apply for monetization and they denied me because of all the reused Scream trailers that I had on my channel and showing the scenes and all that stuff. And the thing is that I could have kept them, but I would have had to add a reaction to them.
Yeah.
And that just would have been too much. You know what I mean? So they just basically said, if you can't add a reaction to them, delete them. And then I have to wait 30 days to reapply for monetization. So I put it there in the chat. The donation links are there in the chat. This is what I'm doing. If you choose to send in a donated chat to either one of my links, because every one of those links for Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, they have a message feature. If you guys send in a donated chat with a message, I will play you guys a clip here on the channel. Again, that's your choice. You know what I mean? If you want to, financially support the channel, that is totally up to you. But I'm just throwing it out there, especially for those who are wondering, why does Marcus have 1,000 subscribers, but yet we don't got no membership or super chat, super sticker features, all that good stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there, you guys. And whatever your message happens to be, especially if it's a dying question that you have to ask, because guys, you know how this gets. When we get flowing, sometimes, it's hard to keep up with the chat. So if you have a question that you really, really want to ask, you know what I mean? Let me, leave a message and I'll read it here on the channel or what have you. So yeah, we're about to get into it. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm ready to go. I'm on fire. I'm ready to get into it.
I want to say right now, Marcus, man, congratulations on 1,000 subs, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Like seriously, it was probably a little bit over a year ago that we started streaming together.
Yeah, man.
And right whenever Scream 5 was about to come out, and man, it's just been great. It's been great.
Yeah, man. It's been an incredible journey, man.
And you deserve it, man. You have some really great content, great theories, and I'm just like, your stuff really gets me thinking. I'm kind of like, man, I kind of see where Marcus is coming. Like great minds think together, think
right?
alike,
Absolutely, man.
I'm like, man. So yeah, I'm really curious to see where you think Scream 7 is going to go. So yeah, tonight's going to be a little fun.
Hell yeah, man. And thank you so much for that, Destin, man. I greatly appreciate that, man. It's blood, you know how it goes, man. It's blood, sweat, and tears with this. You know what I mean? We love what we do as content creators. We love having these discussions and stuff. And, hearing people, compliment you, especially on your work, it definitely means a lot because of the hours and the time that you put into it and stuff. Like, I go back and I look at, that first video I ever did on YouTube, and it was a live stream for like 45 minutes talking about Scream 5. Had no idea on how to use anything really properly, make a video. But then over the course of when I really started doing it, I like to think a lot of people, you could see the change, you know what I mean? And stuff like, especially in the production, the type of music I add to it, the type of slides and all that stuff, like slowly but surely the improvement and getting better, You know what I mean? And stuff. So the fact that people acknowledge that, and just not even just with that, also with just the content, what I'm talking about, like how I'm presenting it, what I'm talking about and stuff like that. Like the fact that people acknowledge that and see that, like, guys, that means a lot to me. So again, buddy, I greatly appreciate you for that.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like a lot of this stuff that we put together, it might seem sometimes it is simple, but sometimes it's really not. Sometimes it's a lot of editing that takes place. One example, like I've had several things that I've had to delete off my channel because they got copyright claims for really dumb reasons or for reasons that they don't even explain.
Right.
And it's just like it just is what it is, and it's just like, man, I put a lot of work into this video. And then, and so I just, the easy way to go about that is just delete it off your channel so you can stay monetized or get remonetized.
Right.
There's one video, and I'm not trying to go too far into this, but I really felt it. I don't know if you follow Drum Dumbs, or watch
I've
his
heard of
stuff.
him.
Yeah. Drum Dumbs has a really good channel, but he put a whole Scream documentary out, and it took him like 3 months to make this entire documentary that was really it was really well made, and it got a copyright claim, and it was just like he was like 3 months of work just down the drain.
Wow.
And I was like, bro, I feel you, man. It's happened to me more than a few times. And
Yeah, I don't understand. My thing is this, especially with YouTube, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the platform. My thing is this: how do you expect as content creators for us to really get detailed in what we're talking about if you're gonna, copyright us over something that we are actually like reacting to, like you tell us that we can do?
mhm.
You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand. Like I don't get it. Like, like we're content creators and we want to be as detailed as possible. Sometimes just talking about it isn't detailed enough for the audience. Because
Right.
then people will question, oh, well, that's just your assumption. You really don't have no proof to back this up.
Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
play this
And it's
clip,
the first
but if
thing
I
that
show
gets
this video from Radio Silence or something that backs up what I'm saying, then you might copyright me or you might, take my video down. And I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't either, especially after you've already been monetized. And that's what I've been going through right now. I already
Right.
talked to you about it. It was like they actually demonetized me, and I did an appeal. They didn't accept it. And so I think on the 12th, yeah. In like 2 days, I can reapply and get remonetized. But that, it does something to you, man, after all that work. And then you go back and you look and you're like, I got to take down this video, that video, that video,
Yep.
that video, all this work that I did that I'm really proud of. And it's all gone. It's all gone. It kind of like hurts your spirit just a little bit. But it is what it is. It's all part of the game. And
Yep. It's all part of the journey.
YouTube is just getting greedier and greedier as they go, and their algorithm is like got like those trigger words or those trigger scenes that like it's just like those are the things that really it's like it's not even a person that's really like explaining why you got copyrighted. It's just like it just is what it is, and there's no explanation. That's what
Right.
annoys me. It's like give me my explanation. Like what is it within this video that is copyrighted?
Right.
And
Exactly.
and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. So,
Right. It's just like, it's funny because remember how they tell you about don't curse within the first like 3 seconds or whatever of the video or get taken down. Like basically you can curse, but it has to be like after a certain amount of time or whatever.
mhm.
Well, it's funny because I watched Jim Cornette's wrestling podcast and he's an avid swearer.
Yeah.
And and now I'm starting to hear even if it's like 5 minutes into the video, bleep, bleep, they're cutting it out.
Yeah.
Like and stuff. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Hopefully it'll get better. You know what I mean? We keep putting in the work, we keep showing our passion, it'll pay off.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, who's going to compete with Google, So that's the thing is like, YouTube is just such a powerhouse.
Right.
Who can actually compete with that? Maybe Apple coming up with their own thing? I don't know.
Wow, that's crazy. Real quick, Val says Knight is fighting that battle right now. He got demonetized and has been fighting with YouTube for months. See,
See,
I didn't know if they just messed up on something or if that was the case with Knight. See, that's crazy because he has been going through that for like 2 months now, hasn't it been, Val? Like,
dang,
yeah, he's
man.
been going through it for a
And he's
while
been
because
killing it lately. He's like,
right,
he shot up there quick.
right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right there. I don't know because I know and he's still doing them shorts and stuff like that or whatever. I don't know if they're trying to make a big hoopla about that. You know what I mean? Which I don't understand why they would, because the videos that he does use or the clips that he does use in his short, you don't hear the volume in the background from that actual scene. You know what I mean? You don't hear that, which is kind of supposed to be like a trick that we can use to be able to use that clip in our videos.
Yeah.
If we put our own music over top of it and stuff like that and our own voice. That's what I'm saying, like reacting to stuff. Like, don't tell us we can react to a certain copyrighted clip, and then when we do, you still demonetize us or
I
don't.
mean, another thing, man, like policies keep coming out. Like it's just like a change of policy, a change of policy, a change of policy. And then you got to worry about, oh, wait, is something about to get hit on my channel because you changed this policy?
Right.
It's crazy. And then they already take so much from us. It's just, they're just, sometimes I think that they're looking for reasons, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
They don't
have a number you can call and just say, "Hey, reinstate my stuff," or plea an argument.
That's honestly a good point that you just made, though, because look how many content creators are on the platform.
Right.
I mean, so you know how this goes. I mean, they'll let us in, and then some of them they'll let us out. You know what I mean? We got to keep just fighting until they're like, okay, we're going to let them in and let them alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff. So like, that's why I said it to myself. Okay, whenever I do a video or something like that, I'm not showing any video clips. I'm just going to play the audio and put an overlaid picture of whoever it is.
That's what I was thinking about doing. I'm not going to do, I don't know if I'm going to do any more videos. If I do, it's going to have no sound. And it's going to be really quick. It's just going to have to, because you even look at like Dead Meat, something happened to him, like big YouTubers. It happens to a lot of their videos.
See, that's crazy, man.
So that's cool. Yeah. So it's like you got to play it safe, but it's like it's limiting you as a creator,
right?
What you're trying to present to your audience, and that's what I have an issue with. It's like it's not. YouTube used to be different. It used to be for the creator. Now it feels like it's for YouTube.
Right.
So
right. No, that's funny you say that because, especially, with all this stuff, see, like that I used to see before on YouTube, before I became a content creator, I would see some crazy stuff on YouTube. Hell, I even saw, I don't know if you remember this, Destin, any of these DVDs, but the Faces of Death.
Yeah, dude. And they're bringing that back.
They would show that.
Yeah.
And that's like, that stuff like that's explicit. Like you really shouldn't be especially if you're complaining about curse words on your platform, you shouldn't be showing somebody getting murdered.
Exactly. Like one of the earliest things that I remember seeing is a soldier getting beheaded whenever he went to like Afghanistan.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, you can't make money off of that, but you can show it to everybody in the world. It's like, no, that should be taken down.
Exactly. Especially, like I said, if you're taking content creator stuff down for just sharing a clip scene from a movie that's just came out.
Right.
Like, it's just like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Had a YouTube rant real quick, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't hear this and be like, oh, yeah, we're taking this down. Mess with us now. I shot him 6 times. Oh, and when you reapply, we'll see if we give it to you again this time. We'll come up with something else to say no.
There'll be a new policy next month, and it'll say you can't have "I shot him 6 times" in your title.
Right. Oh, bro.
I don't even want to give them the idea.
Bro.
My bad for saying that.
Bro, if they hit me with that, I'm fighting it because it's just like it's a phrase, you know what I mean, from a movie.
Right.
If I got to show you, it's on your platform. The clip of the phrase is on your platform.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is like I will fight for this name because it's a unique name. That's why I chose it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I will fight tooth and nail for that. Like,
Yeah.
no way. You're not making me give up my Loomis line as my title. No,
Yep.
we will fight that good fight. Not having it.
It's definitely yours, man. It's definitely yours. They shouldn't do that for sure.
Right.
So,
all right, real quick, I do want to say I'm sorry, guys, in the chat. We're spewing here, you know what I mean, airing our grievances. But I do see Dominic
venting.
St. Clair Studios. What's going on, buddy? How are you doing
Dom.
tonight?
What's up, Dom?
Yeah, I wanted to get to this from Dom because I did see this earlier. So something is off with Scream 5 and 6 when it comes to certain scenes. Feels like there's something more to the story than we think when it comes to particularly Ghostface and his kills and conversation. I'm assuming there's more to that. Hold on. Okay, no, because I mean, I think it might be more on the bottom, but I'll get back to that, Dominic. But real quick, what do you think about this, Destin? Like from you watching it twice already. We'll start getting into the conversation here now because we've been going almost 22 minutes. I mean, just snapping on YouTube.
Yeah. If the stream just like shuts down, we're sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I think Dom, I think you're onto something there too, because after like the second time I watched it, and honestly, like Scream 6 kind of grew on me for that second viewing. I was kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, I was in a different mind space. I kind of went in and I was like, this is one of those movies that get better with each viewing.
I agree, man.
I think, because, but definitely, I think that when it comes to certain scenes, there's certain things that just like kind of does feel off. Like it's like I don't know if it was like the rewrites whenever they felt like that Nev Campbell couldn't come back or wasn't going to come back, and they had to like give Hayden more screen time, or maybe like I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to know what that original script was like. But there's definitely like moments that I felt like I was like in a different movie in certain scenes, like, and it's really with Dermot's character. I felt like he was like different in certain scenes, and I was like, did the directors tell him to act like this, or was this something he just did? Like, I just felt like something is off here, and I felt like that park scene, the park scene that they went to, I felt like
Yes.
that's the scene that kind of like felt like this feels like a completely different movie. And I know they're trying to do an homage to Scream 2, but they didn't even utilize it. They didn't even, I mean, that whole entire park scene was wasted to nothing for them to steal the cop car, which I thought that was really, I didn't like that. I didn't like that they stole the cop car. That didn't make sense to me as a character choice of what they were doing.
Right.
It just felt so out of place. It felt like it was like maybe there was a different idea for that moment. But I also think that there was other Ghostface. Like, I got a lot of thoughts going in my mind about that. But I do think that there was other Ghostface at play. And I think that like shows it from the beginning of how they set that up, there was already a motive of these other two killers, and then these killers intervened, and and Ghostface says no one gives a fuck about the movies.
Yep.
And that was the point of this one. The cop, it was about
Yep.
revenge. It wasn't about the movies. Did we even get any movie trivia shit in this movie? No, because no one gave this killer did not care about the movies. That's what this was about. So I do think that if you can just say that, hey, these other two guys are killers, how many more are out there? Was there other people, other killers out there just watching? Like you've mentioned, like the guy with the hood walking around. Maybe he was just like maybe all these Ghostface were kind of like looking for their opportunity, and they're like, oh, somebody else done intervened.
Yep.
Like there was like this underground Ghostface cult thing going on at this point. And it was just like they could never get in because Dermot and his kids were just like very aggressive, you know, like they just kept intervening. So
Right.
It's wild to think because like I don't remember who came up with this. It could have been you, Marcus. You could have brought this up to me because it's been a while, but it has always stuck in my mind of that subway scene with
Danny.
Yeah, and he steps in front of the Ghostface and he like cuts too.
Yep.
And it's like, was he saying no, this one's mine, or was he really being protective? Like it makes you think a little bit, man, because of how many different avenues that there was so many Ghostface. Was like most of those Ghostface on that, you know, people in the costume, were they all killers? And they were just kind of like looking for their opportunity, but they just never could get in. So it's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, man. I've said it. Excuse me. After going back and rewatching this film damn near 10 times now.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. You know, I got my gadgets. So, so after rewatching this film and like really breaking it down, like, bro, I'm talking about like I slowed it down to the slowest of slowest that you can do. Like, you know what I mean? In terms of trying to get details, pictures up close and stuff like that. And I'm going to say this, man. I definitely do think that Jason and Greg were possibly part of that stab subreddit, man. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's just down to the point is who created that stab subreddit. Because this is the thing for me. I now know for a fact that in Scream 5, see, Scream 5 laid the groundwork for it. Scream 6 now expanded on it. And in that opening scene of Scream 5, and I'm now in no longer any doubt that in that scene alone showed us there are more killers than just Amber and Richie in that movie. You know what I mean? From the live feed with Amber, that's 2 killers right there. That's not a recorded video. That's a live feed. You know what I mean? Right when Ghostface says somebody's got to die now, the knife comes up. That's a live feed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a pre-recorded video.
Yeah.
Then, you know, obviously, whoever attacks Tara, that makes 3 right there. And then whoever's talking on the phone. Now, I just did a video the other day. I don't know if you were able to peep it, but I went back in Scream 5 and I found 3 clues that point to Charlie, Stu. We already know about that. The Charlie reference on the phone and the trivia question about Stu. But Kirby, you can even make a case. There's a piece of dialogue that references to her. And it's when Ghostface says to Tara, see, you are going to do great at this, about the trivia. Jill says it damn near the same thing to Kirby in Scream 4. See, you do know the franchise. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm telling you, man, like, I don't think Kirby is squeaky clean like we think. And it's something that you brought up about in your video about the connection to Jason in Atlanta and what's his name, Dermot saying that she's no longer FBI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm telling you, man, I believe there's something greater at work. Scream 5 laid the table for it. And the more I watch Scream 6, they expanded on it. They not only expanded on it by giving us 5 total killers. Yeah, I count Greg, even though he didn't do shit. He got killed. You know what I mean? But he counts. He was going to be a Ghostface killer. They were going to finish Richie's movie, you know? And that's my thing. If Jason wasn't part of the stab subreddit and didn't have any involvement with Richie, possibly even in Scream 5, how the fuck he know about the movie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's just definitely certain things in this movie that screams, no pun intended, that screams there are more killers in this film. And to go back and to that subway scene with Danny, I broke this shit down, bro. You know what I mean? I went right back in that scene, and the main focus for me was before that Ghostface starts charging at them to see if there was a door that was closest to them. And there was. There was a door that they could have just turned and walked right out of. Literally just made a turn, and they're out that door. If that was not somebody who was targeting Samantha and them, they would have walked out that door. They wouldn't have felt the need to walk all the way damn near to the opposite side just to walk out anyway. And I think Danny, in that moment, is giving them the signal to back off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not now.
He looks like a hero right now.
Right.
But he was really maybe a mastermind behind it. Dude, that's he's like a, well, this might be a spoiler if you haven't seen the series. Like a Kieran.
Yes. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. That's an interesting take, and I like it. And the reason why I like it, because that did happen. And what season did that happen in? Season 2.
Yeah.
This is Radio Silence, Scream 2.
Yeah.
The only difference is they're making this motherfucker go to Scream 3 or Scream 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that, man. Oh, that's crazy. I brought this up too. You know, because somebody, when I made that video, was like, oh, well, you know what I mean? He was just trying to protect Samantha, this and this and that. I said, okay, but this is my issue with that. And I put it in the video as well. If he was trying so hard to protect Samantha in that moment, why, when he's seen Ghostface standing in Quinn's room, all he did was try to call Sam? We know he can get through the front door because we just seen him try to look at his mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why didn't he sit there and try to save her then?
Yeah, that's very true.
You know what I mean? Like, and in my opinion, the reason why is because he's looking at this other Ghostface like, shit, I ain't working with you. I ain't taking that risk. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, he's definitely suspicious to me, man. But the biggest
I always felt
one,
he was kind of out of place too. Like something about it, it was just kind of like they're making him too likable, and that raises my questions about him. The way he's written. Like, that's the way, like, looking at a writer's, you know, from a writer's point of view, it's kind of like you're making him just likable all the way through it. We only suspect him just because we suspect everybody.
right?
But there was never a moment where, what did they ever have a moment that was like, he might be the killer?
Oh yeah. I did.
No,
Right,
I mean, like, was it written that way? Like, was there a written moment where it was like, oh, he looks like a killer right now?
No, I don't think so. Other than that subway scene.
You know, like the moment where Cotton Weary comes out in Scream 2 with blood on his hand, and it's just like, oh, he looks very suspicious.
He looks like a killer in that moment. Yeah. Well, this is something that Radio Silence said. And it's really interesting to me because they said when they were doing the auditions for each character, they had each one of them do Ghostface voice. And they said this motherfucker is crazy good with the Ghostface voice, Josh Segarra. They said his was the best. Wow. Like, bro. And I heard that, and I said, "Yeah, I'm sure he is. You guys, you know, you have him as an undercover Ghostface. You just ain't unleashed him yet." Yeah. Bro, he's definitely suspicious to me. But there's a lot of mofo's who are suspicious. Like, I'm gonna keep it honest with you, bro. I still think Sam is involved.
You think she's done some?
Bro, listen. Why would you keep the guy who just tried to kill you his phone number in your phone? I forgot to delete his contact. Nah, bro. I'm figuring it out with this chick, and I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek into what I'm working on. I'm actually doing a theory video called 7 from Hellsborough or whatever. because I believe this cult of ghost faces, if we do get revealed from Woodsboro, and Samantha is one of them, and I think what is happening with her character is that she is following the script in so many ways of the original 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing, and the reason why I take that away is because why else would you keep Richie's number in your phone? You know how this plays out. You know the family, the parents coming for you. And I know
mean,
you
could have just forgot. Like, I forget people's numbers that are in my phone that I've programmed a long time ago.
Yeah, but not somebody who try to kill you though, bro.
That's true. Yeah.
Not somebody who try to kill you. And then it's just, this is another thing, is when she talks to Ghostface. I don't know if y'all caught this, but she's a lot more fucking brazen. Like, it's like, I mean, I get it. That's how her character's supposed to be. You know, she's supposed to show that growth and that toughness. But when she's on the phone with Ghostface, the first phone call, and Ghostface says to her, you and Tara should need to watch her back. And she said, you need to watch yours. Well, hold up. How the hell are you going to tell this person to watch their back if you don't even know who the fuck it is?
Yeah.
It's certain things like that. And then, like I said, the secrets, bro. For 6 months, she was already seeing Danny. But you're telling people, oh, I'm not ready for human contact. The sneakiness, man. It's the sneakiness, the faking. You know, I'm faking like I'm so traumatized, but I'm doing things that's showing you I'm not really all that traumatized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how you going to tell Tara not to live her life, but you getting it down with the homeboy next door?
And how is Danny not, like, suspicious of her at all? Like, he doesn't seem scared of her at all.
At all. You know what I mean? And then so close after you just got killed by your ex-boyfriend or whatever, you move to a new state and immediately start messing with this dude you just met. Nah, man, I've been saying it, you know, for a while. She has a lot of Maureen Prescott elements, but she's Billy Loomis's daughter. You know what I mean? Like, that's the parallel I take from her character. Because just like Maureen, she has a lot of secrets. You know what I mean? Just like Maureen, it seems like she doesn't have a hard time bouncing around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but with her, and she even said this, Melissa Barrera even said this, her dropping the mask isn't, and even Radio Silence said this as well, her dropping the mask isn't a sign of letting it go. It's a sign of acceptance. And Melissa even said in an interview, compared to Scream 5,
leaving it at the crime scene.
Yeah, compared to Scream 5 when she stabbed Richie, she said her character in that moment basically just snapped. But in this moment when she's killing Bailey, she's in the know. And it's more like, yeah, I'm back, baby. Like, I take it as this with this character. If she is a mastermind. And I tell this to people, just because you are a mastermind doesn't mean you start off as a killer. You know what I mean? You can have other people put in place to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've seen in the Scream franchise plenty of times, killers betray each other. That's the whole point. Billy was going to portray Stu. Mrs. Loomis portrayed Mickey. Jill betrayed Charlie, so on and so forth. So what I think happened is that Samantha was in on it the whole time with Richie and all that and stuff, because this is another thing people got to think of too. I know there's a lot of people that think Christina Carpenter is involved because of the whole security system thing. Samantha would know the security system too.
Yeah. Yes.
And how is all this stuff being planned by Richie without her knowing nothing?
And, you know, they really didn't expand on the whole, you know, like that was the one thing about Scream 5 was like, it was like, oh, we're using like the apps and we're using like all this kind of stuff. But they didn't really do that in Scream 6 at all.
Right.
I thought that was like, it was like you would think that they would utilize all that hacking stuff a little bit more in the sequel. So yeah, man,
It's another thing I'll tell you too. You know, and remember, this was a big talking point about Scream 5, is that the pills are the reason why Samantha sees Billy.
Oh,
You
the
ain't see,
reason.
like, basically, a lot of people were saying, especially against my theory about her being a mastermind, saying that the pills could be the reason for her hallucinations because medicine can do that to you or whatever,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Scream 6 trucked that entire idea because you not once seen Samantha take a pill, and she still
That's
saw
true.
Billy Loomis.
That's true, man.
She still saw Billy Loomis.
That's very true. I wonder if there's going to be any deleted scenes or anything like that. Like, that's one thing you would think you would put in there.
Bro. And another thing is, I don't know if you caught this video the other day, neither, Destin, is that in the soundtrack music in 2 songs, the one from Demi Lovato's song Stay Alive and from Paramore's song You First, bro, they clearly imply that they're not only just talking about Samantha, but that they are talking about her in the way that she is basically tricking us all. She is a killer and a final girl at the same time. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I heard those lyrics in Paramore, I said, yo, you cannot tell me that that's not who they're talking about here. You know what I mean? Like, that's made for the sound. That's made for the movie. That's made for the character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, bro, I'm telling you, like, you know what I mean? Something is up here, man. And I just hope that if it is revealed, I'm going to put it this way. We talked about it a little bit before we came on. I feel like this, if there is a cult of Ghostface, right? I feel like it depends on where we're going to be going in Scream 7, whether we're going to get that revealed just yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it's not in Woodsboro, then it's not going to happen in 7. That's how I feel about it. What do you
I don't know
feel
if I
about
would
that?
want it to happen if it's not in Woodsboro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I very much agree with that. One thing that I think that they're going to go the only way. Okay. What if they blend Scream 3 with the return of Woodsboro? And I know I've said this before on my streams. Say, you know, like maybe they're going to do a requel of the Stab movies. It's going to be a direct sequel to the original.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's exactly what Richie and Amber was trying to do, because all the sequels sucked. Requels. That's the whole motive thing or whatever. Maybe it has now became a movie. Maybe Richie's movie is coming to life, and maybe they're doing a requel to the original Stab. And instead of doing it in Hollywood, they're doing it on location in Woodsboro. And it's this big media thing where it's just like they're gonna film scenes in the scenes where certain victims were murdered. Like, they're going to be in that house. They're going to be in Judy Hicks' house. They're going to be, maybe they'll do some OG houses like Stu's house, Sidney's house, Casey Becker's house. Who knows? But, like, I think that'd be like a really interesting take, like having a whole movie set moving to the location. Because, I mean, that happens in Hollywood. They're not always on a movie set. They're not always,
That's true.
At Warner Brothers or wherever. They sometimes will, like they did with Scream 6. They went to Canada. You know, they filmed there. What if it's something like that and it's like a movie on top of a movie, but it's also like a blend of Scream 3 and it's this one? And then one thing that I caught the second time, I didn't catch the first time, and I'm pretty sure if you've seen it 10 times, you probably already caught this, but when Sam is talking to her therapist, he says, "You've told me about your abusive relationship with your father." Do you remember him saying that close to the beginning of the movie?
Yep.
Right when we go, that was like one of the first things she says to her. So he's not saying her father because she's never met her father.
Right.
She's never met Billy. She's talking about he's talking about her stepfather.
Stepfather. Yo, that's
Tara's
a good
dad.
catch.
Tara's dad.
Wow, I didn't catch that, bro. That's a hell of a catch.
Yeah, dude.
Wow,
I
makes
heard that
sense.
on the second time, and I was like, abusive relationship with your father. So you had an abusive relationship with your father? Like, this isn't Billy
Wow.
Loomis. You
Wow. I
didn't have
never
a
thought of it that
relationship.
way.
You never had a relationship with Billy. You had a relationship with your stepfather. So what happened there?
Wow.
And remember, I've said that a long time ago when Scream 5 came out that there's more there.
Yo.
Did she kill her stepfather? Is he not missing? Is he really? I mean, he didn't just leave the family. He's actually dead. Was that her
Right.
first kill? I mean, it could not be. You could have this guy come back, yeah, or, like maybe he has, I think the brother would, I mean, if he had another kid, it would be definitely younger than Sam and Tara. And then we'd go
Yeah.
the whole brother route, like in Scream 3, which I don't know if I really want to go that route. It's too much on the nose. You got to have something more there. But look what Scream 6 did. We were kind of on the nose with the whole motive and revenge. And it's not the killer's mom, it's the killer's dad and family,
Right.
So I don't know which way they're going to go, but man, yeah.
This is why I said, if I'm right about Samantha being a mastermind, I think the best route for them to go, if you're going to mirror Scream 3, the best route is to reveal Samantha as a mastermind Ghostface and Sidney is actually her mother. Because it's just kind of like Roman. It's just like Roman. She was involved from the beginning. But only this time compared to Roman, she was in the front line. We've seen her in every single movie. I'm telling you, man.
Would that make? You got my wheels spinning here. Would that make, like? I just pictured, like, if that is the case, if Sidney is really the mother, wouldn't that be crazy if, like, Sam and Tara's mom is a killer and was a killer alongside with Billy?
Maybe.
And Sidney has to come in and intervene and have the girls' backs. Like,
I mean, I've always envisioned it like this, and I know that we got Samantha's ID in Scream 6, and it basically says she would have been, if you do the math, she would have been conceived in August. And people will say, well, then that trumps the whole Sidney being her mom theory. You know what I mean? Because she was born before the events of, the murder spree and all that. But this is how I take that, is that might actually not be what her real birth date is, especially if Sidney is her mother and Christina adopted her, like I think she did, to have a piece of Billy Loomis because she was so obsessed with him and stuff. Christina could have easily told Samantha that her birthday was something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Easily. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, man, because again, and maybe this could just be them picking up something and putting it down, but there's no way Sidney Prescott knew that was Billy Loomis's daughter out of the clear blue sky. There's no way. Dewey didn't mention it to her.
Yeah,
Nothing.
that was a little forced writing there. If they don't really explain that was kind of like, I mean, the only thing that it was that Sidney tells Gail, "Is that her?" And Gail's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. And then you hear Sidney go up to her and she says, "I know who you are. You're Billy's daughter."
Yeah.
When I heard that, and then it's just not even just that, man. The way she acts with Samantha, it's like you said that basically Danny was not scared of Samantha at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like Samantha wasn't scared of him really or whatever, even though she did tell him to back off in certain instances and stuff like that. The same could be said about Sidney in Scream 5 with Samantha. It's like she did not at all suspect Samantha to be Ghostface. That's uncharacteristic for Sidney Prescott. Why? Why?
Yeah.
I want to know why. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why was she so hell-bent on protecting this girl from getting killed? You put a tracker on her car? You don't do that. That's some mom shit. That's some mom shit. Like that's some parent shit, bro. Like if they don't pick that up, like if they don't explain that, even if it doesn't turn out to be, Sidney's real daughter or whatever, just give me some type of decent explanation on how she knew that was Billy's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we didn't hear Dewey say it to her. You know what I mean? You even hear Sidney on the phone tell Dewey, whoever this Ghostface is after, I'm glad they have you there to protect them. Like, so it's crazy, man. But again, like, I feel like everything they did in 5, to some degree, especially with the fact of there being more killers, they definitely expanded that in Scream 6. And through Jason and Greg, they showed you there could be more coming from that stab subreddit. Yeah. Now I want to know who created that stab subreddit.
Yeah, they tip their toes in that, and it's kind of like, if you don't expand on that, you don't want to go backwards now. Like you got to do a little bit more.
Thank you.
It would be crazy just to like get several different like Ghostface throughout the next film, and you're just kind of like, whoa, a Ghostface killed another Ghostface, and it's kind of like, no, she's for me, like everybody wants to kill Sam because that's Billy Loomis's daughter,
right.
So I mean, dude, it's something to think about. Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
I know you're not supposed to say that, but I will.
No, go for it, buddy.
I'll be right back.
Scott Walker X, hello, Destination Station. I have a real question. Do you think Charlie Walker in Scream 4 was Stu's copycat? What do you think? Marcus seems to agree with me about that. I'm going to wait till Destin gets back to answer that. So what I'm going to do, if I can, let me see if I can star this. Damn. I don't think I can start here from the phone. So, Scott, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to some more of these comments, and then I'm going to scroll all the way back up so you can get that question answered. I know I'm way behind in the chats, everybody, so I'm sorry. And real quick, I did see this earlier. Michael, if you're still here for Movies and Beyond, thank you for stopping in, my friend. What's going on with you? I hope you're having a great night, man. We got to get you here on the channel as well. Talk some Halloween and some Scream, all that good stuff. Rocky Balboa. I know I seen something from you earlier. Let me see if this is a continuation. Okay, so Rocky Balboa says the killer wiped the knife just like Stu right after crashing into Gail's apartment. Yeah. There's a lot of Stu clues in that Gail scene, in my opinion. All right, yeah, I'm way behind in the chat. Okay, so now I'm caught up. Real quick, what's up, Blucka Blucka? Saying, I'm sure they will do something that ties back to Connect 3, back to Connected to 3, but I think it will be Christina or Leslie Mocker, if anything. Hey, listen, all I'm telling you, Blucka, is one of them two are in my pool as part of the Woodsboro 7 Ghostface cult. That's all I'm going to say. DeMarcus Hammond in the chat. What's going on, DeMarcus? Saying the true mastermind owns this subreddit. Well, buddy, I think there are 3 masterminds. I think there are a total of 7 killers in this cult. But I think there's 3 people, if anything, 2 at the least, behind that stab subreddit. And I'm banking my money on 1 Kirby Reed and 1 Charles Walker. That's just me. I think Charlie Walker, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it now, I think Charlie Walker would be a perfect accomplice to Stu Macher, especially in these times, because he would know how to operate social media, unlike Stu, especially if we believe Stu has been locked up for so many years. Stu's old school. He wouldn't know all that. You got a glimpse of that in Scream 5 when Tara was talking about the Babadook. or whatever. The killer didn't know nothing about the elevated horror scene. They was old school. Just saying. You know what I mean? So it's definitely going to be interesting, man. But real quick, I do want to go back up here to Scott's question from earlier because I know he's been waiting on that for a while, and it was for you, Destin. Here we go. Scott Walker says, "Hello, Destination Station. I have a real question. Do you think Charlie Walker in Scream 4 was a Stu copycat? What do you think about this?" Marcus agrees with me about that.
Charlie Walker being a copycat of Stu?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he was somewhat of that. I don't think he had the same energy as Stu. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I'm not against the whole Charlie Walker theory. And Marcus, I know you're all about it and everything.
Let's bring back the brutality.
Yeah, I just don't know. And this is just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's enough of a shock for it to be. Now, it will be if he's like one of a few. If he's like...
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he
like,
has to be like he's a partner of the cult.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's like one of a few, but if he's like the mastermind, and he's
I wouldn't.
I'm not really feeling that as much. And you know me, I'm like Scream 4 was never my first choice. Like, I just I feel like Jill would be more surprising and more believable in a way. But I do think that Charlie Walker was a Stu type like character. He just didn't have that energy, you know. Hey, wouldn't it be crazy if it's Charlie's brother and we get Macaulay Culkin as a killer?
You know, somebody else said that shit too. Somebody else said that before in the chats. I forget who it was, but somebody said that when I brought up the Charlie Walker theory, and I was like, I mean, I'm not against it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That would be the most meta and stream thing to do because he's still a big star. He's still a massive star. He's a legend.
You know who he is if he walks on screen. You're like, whoa, shit.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, I wouldn't be against that too because we never did get a peek inside Charlie's family.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
And that's the thing. Like it has to be more. I mean, like, look at it. Like when Scream 4 came out, we didn't even know that Sidney had an aunt or a cousin and all that kind of stuff. It was like, where have they been this entire time? Some of this stuff is a bit of an afterthought, you know, but when it comes to the final reveal, the mastermind, when you bring it all back home, it has to feel organic. You can't. I mean, like, I honestly, as much as I don't want to say it, as much as I don't really want it, I think we're going to get a brother type reveal.
Wow.
Of Sam and Tara. But I think it's going to be based off of this character knows that Sam killed his dad.
Oh,
see what I'm saying? See where I'm going with this? And this is a secret that knows about Sam that she really killed his dad, and maybe he was left out in the rain and got the door shut on him because he was that was his new family,
right?
Christina,
right.
But I think there's going to be a second reveal, and I think that's too much on the nose. Just like with Scream 6, we got 3 reveals. We got the Mrs. Loomis 2.0, and then we got the 2 kids.
Yep.
So I think that in this one, it will be a brother-like reveal, but there's going to be like maybe he has another brother or a couple other people with him. You know,
what if they fucking flip Tara?
or they flip Tara, or they try to side Tara. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
a lot of people thought Tara was going to be a killer in this one.
I mean, well, fuck. I mean, when she killed Ethan, she did look like she enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I mean, I'm not going to shy away from that. I did catch that. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be my ideal pick because I think if Radio Silence wants to be, if you want to say, the new Wes Craven and keep doing Scream films, even in the future, once they're done with 7, if they wait a few years and then do it again, me personally, given the age of Melissa Barrera and the age of Jenna Ortega, unless you're just going to start off with a whole new story with new characters, I just feel like for longevity, Jenna's the answer. Like, because, she's much like Nev.
Carry it on.
Right. It's just like when Nev blew up with Scream, but she also had Party of 5. She had all these other projects too. You know what I mean? You found out real quickly that she could carry the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
You find those gems every once in a while. And Jenna's one of those gems that, in my opinion, you don't just turn her into a killer or kill her off. I think you keep it going with her, and you just keep the story going with her. Or if you're going to do it, have her be the final girl and then go in a completely different direction in a new setting of characters. Because, and it's nothing against Melissa Barrera, but she's my age. You know what I mean? Nothing against her. I'm not going to keep believing after so many a long amount of time, no matter how good she still looks, that this girl, her character is only like 30 years old or whatever, when she's really about to be fucking 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more believable with Tara, with Jenna's character, because she actually is around the age that her character is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And stuff. So, I mean, anything could happen though, and especially with that. I think personally, if that were to happen, Destin, oh man, I think Tara would be involved with that, bro. Oh man, that would be nuts though. That would be a crazy twist.
Yeah.
Because then Tara knew the entire time and just been waiting.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just kind of like she just finally gave in. That'd be crazy if she was working with a brother. If they do go the brother angle, that would be really, really crazy, man.
Holy shit.
I don't know, man. There's so many different ways that they could go with this, but if they do mirror anything, I do think that we're going to get some sort of brother angle to it, but I think that they're gonna spice it up a little bit. It's gonna be more than just the brother. It's gonna be some other stuff. I would love, honestly, as much as I don't really care to go back to Hollywood, I would definitely love to go back to Milton's house. I would love to return back there. Like that would be crazy.
You know what I would like? I'm not gonna lie, and because it would be different. It would be a little bit different. I wouldn't mind for the final act scene, especially if we're going to reveal the cult, even if it does kind of make it a little bit revealing when we get there. I wouldn't mind us seeing it get in the final act scene at the fucking penitentiary maybe Stu was at. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Grove?
Would you say Smith's Grove? I mean, if they shipped him all the way out to Illinois, that would be something they would do because of the connection to the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
Oh man,
wouldn't that be kind of cool if that's really
bro? If that happened, I'm getting up in the theater and I'm clapping just like I did in Halloween 2018 when Lori got up from the rooftop fall. I'm doing it.
Man,
I'm doing it, man. Like, that would be crazy. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that neither. Like, I just got a feeling, man. I will say this. I think for Scream 7, we're going to London, my friend.
You think we're going to London?
Yep.
Man.
Christina's there.
Oh, man. I made this whole entire video a couple weeks ago, and there was no audio to it, so I just didn't remake it. But I'm probably gonna remake it. But it's about like where are we going next, pretty much. And I think it would be really interesting to have like a who done it type movie on a cruise ship. Like if like they're going like, okay, you want to say like, all right, so if shit pops off and the core four is like, nah, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. And instead of going to like the Bahamas, like, and I still know what you did last summer or something, which they could do something like that, and it all be a setup, and then Sydney's there with you know, like it was all like to bring them together,
Right.
But wouldn't it be crazy if like they're like, no, we're just going to go on a cruise and go to Mexico or wherever the hell, you know, and just there's a killer on a cruise ship, man. There's so much you can do on a cruise ship when it comes to something like that, you know?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If we do get that, I personally wouldn't mind it. I'd like it. But then I'd feel like you should have fucking did that for 6 because of the whole Jason Takes Manhattan feel.
Oh, yeah, like the boat getting there and everything.
Bro,
yeah.
Like...
But that wasn't really like a cruise. That was just like a big... Was it like a cruise? It was like a big yacht.
I don't like that. It's big enough to me. Like you had so many rooms. Like fuck, they even had a boxing ring in that sumbitch.
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah. Okay, so I went on a cruise and it was like a party, dude. Like there was like several clubs, there were several bars, there were so many restaurants, there were so many things to do. There were so many weird and it was like a maze.
They have a casino in there.
They had a casino. They had everything, dude. Like so much fun. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to see a zombie outbreak type movie on a cruise. Like think about being in the middle of the ocean and one of your passengers is sick and then it just kind of spreads and people start becoming zombies. Like I'm just like, why don't we get more I mean, okay, so what was like they did like an action movie, Speed 2, the cruise or whatever.
Cruise Control.
Yeah, Cruise Control, that's what it was. Like, yeah, that didn't really hit, but I think for a horror movie, I think it would do really well. Because you wouldn't know who to trust. You're just kind of like looking around. It's just, and then you could do stuff with like the ocean and the rain and a storm and dude, the ship, like we were eating one time and like stuff was like moving on our table and you're just kind of swaying and you're like trying to hold on to your wine glass. Like, man, it's just so, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like there needs to be more horror movies on a cruise.
I would like to see if we were to get Scream on a cruise. I would, especially if there's a casino in there.
Yeah.
I would love a scene where these motherfuckers are in the casino. They think everything is all good. I'm talking about Sam and all them, you know, trying to have fun, you know, whatever. And Ghostface, you know what I mean? Now, granted, this would work with the cult, though. This would work with the cult because, you know, you got to get past all these security guards and shit like that.
Yeah.
But if these motherfuckers just go up in there and fuck up every one of those security guards, kill them, all that, right? And like one of the kills, I don't know how they fucking do it, but it's brutal enough. But the body lands on the button that releases all the fucking money in those machines. And then you see everybody on the floor just start hitting mad fucking money. But then right when everybody's all cheering, happy, like, oh yeah, we're getting rich, all the fucking bodies come out from the top floor through the fucking glass wall that they got by, you know, the Eye Behind the Sky. And you see 7 motherfucking Ghostface killers standing up there looking down at these motherfuckers. Yeah. Like,
or there's like, bro, you know, I always pictured like if like there was like a final scene, like it's like dark or something, and it's like maybe like stormy, but it's kind of gloomy. You can still see really well. And like the upper
I know
deck,
a lot of people want Ghostface in the snow.
I don't really want to see Ghostface in the snow.
And see,
I think
my thing is this.
I want to see Jason in the snow. I don't want to see Ghostface.
And see, that's my issue with Ghostface being in the snow. is how much chase scenes do you really expect? This motherfucker's gonna be fumbling and bumbling all over the place.
Yeah.
Unless they gonna be wearing some special fucking, boots, you know what I mean? Snow boots that you don't slip, or whatever, like non-slip boots or something. But I personally, I wouldn't mind it for the setting, I guess. But just for that fact alone, especially if we want more chase scenes, if we want this ramped up, which I'd like to think we would, because they did a good job in Scream 6 giving us chase scenes, but it could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like Ghostface running around in the snow, it would just be too complicated for them to keep their footing, so it's,
I don't think
I think we're going to London, bro. Christina, Jenna said London for a reason. As what she said London and other places, but she put London on her list for a reason. And the last time we knew, Christina Carpenter was in London. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I heard that and I was just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? We going overseas.
It'd be like a Jack the Ripper type thing.
Ooh. Wow. That would have a nice little touch to it, like a nice little feel to it, honestly. Yeah, it really would. DeMarcus Hammond says, what if Kirby Reed is the new Roman Bridger and turns out maybe to Sam and Tara's half sister?
I don't know about the half sister. I could see her being possibly, I don't know, even being related to Roman Bridger. I mean, being the new Roman Bridger. I honestly, I'm not throwing it out the window. I'm still thinking that Kirby is still on my suspect radar. She really is. So is Danny.
Yep.
And I think that we might get a brother scenario. Like it could be all three of them, or it could be this brother and Kirby, like working together. Maybe they met up in Atlanta. I just think that like something about Kirby just didn't sit well with me.
She's a fucking killer. I know she is. I know it. I'm on to her, bro. Listen,
I don't even like her wardrobe. I'm like, what are you wearing right now? You look like
it's
a Resident Evil character.
Bro, it's Ghostface colors. It's a Ghostface colors. As soon as I saw her wearing that sweater, I said, yo, that's Ghostface colors.
And her and Dermot were just on each other. They were just trying to work each other.
Bro, listen, we got to also keep in mind, too, Kirby Reed's phone call that she got when she was in the office going over the suspect board, the Ghostface board with Dermot, she got a phone call. Her cell phone's the only one we didn't see no dialogue on. And she acted really funny walking away from that scene. Bro, listen, I'm telling you, man, I think that Charlie's alive. I don't think that scene with that person who looks like Charlie walking past Samantha and them, I don't think that's a coincidence, bro. I really don't. It's too tied together. This guy is walking from the bodega scene, because this is something we got to keep in mind, too. Ghostface ain't got no pockets. How was they able to drop off that mask without it dropping out of the costume while they were moving around and ducking bullets and all that stuff?
I could do it. I'm just kidding, man. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you expect me. I mean, I get it. You're kind of supposed to subvert our expectations, or however they pronounce that, or suspend our disbelief. But it's just odd to me that this character, this dark figure, who's walking past the Carpenter sisters, and this is another thing too. If this ain't supposed to be Charlie Walker, and this ain't somebody who's important, why would you black out his face all the way up until he walks right past Samantha Carpenter? I get it. You're supposed to build that suspense. She thinks it's Ghostface, but we already know it's not, because this motherfucker ain't even in costume.
I honestly didn't even like how that whole situation played out, because even the way that Ghostface jumps out and just grabs him, like, what was he in the bush?
Right.
Where was he even at?
I'll say this, man. I might have to do a killer re-rank, and re-rank my killers, because now after rewatching Stream 6 a good amount of times, about 10 times, like I said, I think it was Ethan who did all of it, bro, basically. And the reason why, yes, the reason why I say that, Destin, I don't know if you caught this in the final act when Detective Bailey's talking about the bond between him and Richie. And then it cuts real quickly over to Ethan's face, and you could see the hurt on his face. Bro, I think Ethan was doing most of the killings to live up to Richie and to impress his dad, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think I like, after rewatching it, I'm like, yo, this is Ethan. Like, just is Ethan trying to live up to Richie's legacy. And it would make sense, being that Dermot was the one that showed the video, Richie's fan film. It would make sense with Ethan killing Jason, because he don't give a fuck about the movie.
Yeah.
He don't care about the movie. He there to get revenge for his brother or whatever and stuff, but he's also there to cement his own legacy. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I really do think I'm gonna have to do a re-rank, because now Ethan, he's got to move up my board, because he wasn't a bad Ghostface killer. You know what I mean? Like
he didn't really
like, in terms, I'm gonna put it this way. He reminds me in a way of people would feel about him the way they would feel about Charlie. You know what I mean? Like, his reveal was underwhelming. Didn't really have that much outlandish,
because it was all pointed towards him until it wasn't, and then it was.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I just speaking in the context of actual Ghostface killing, like this motherfucker getting it in, dicing motherfuckers up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shit like that, because I mean, if we do believe that it's him, if you come to that final conclusion, I'm not saying he's top 5, but he moves inside the top 10.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, man. I bet you they're not gonna have any more roommates. Sam's roommate was a killer, and then Chad's roommate was a killer.
See, and that comes back to the writing too, because my whole thing is this. Why would you not just have it y'all 4 living together? Why would you need roommates?
Yeah.
There was no reason to have roommates. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, man, there's some of the writing and the editing in Scream 6 was pretty off point. I don't know if you caught it, but the scene where Stab gets poked up, where we all thought he was going to die.
What scene?
The scene where Chad gets poked up in the shrine.
Yeah. Man,
if you look at the masks, bro, you got to really zoom in on it and slow it down and zoom in on it on that scene. But you only see the cracks when Ethan stabs him the first time. After that, the masks are plain white. Like there's no cracks in them. So there's definitely some editing miscues in that scene.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. But
and why the fuck did they only knock Kirby out? Why didn't they kill her?
Because she involved, bro. They didn't knock her out. They didn't knock her ass out. She played that shit. Her and Charlie. Bro, there's something that 5-star Tributes actually said to me. He brought this to my attention. You realize Kirby's spot was in the same spot as Charlie's? Her bruise, her cut? Like, that shit, I mean, it ain't nothing to where, you know what I mean, it like proves anything, but that shit is fascinating to me. You know what I mean? Like, why is it, you know what I mean? They could have did that just to, be, a nice reference. But her whole character suspicious in that final act scene. Who locks up the gate, the elevator?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And we never even see that other entrance that they sneak into.
Bro, like, I'm telling you, bro, like, Kirby's involved, but she's involved with somebody with the main cult. She's involved with them. You know what I mean? And she's perfect for that, because even if she ain't with the FBI anymore, she already got her knowledge. She already know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dermot's already, I think that Dermot was true. I think in that moment when he was like, hey, she's not who she says she is. She was let go, blah, 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 blah. I think that's probably very, very true. and that raised his suspicions. He's like, oh shit, she might be on to me.
Yep.
And that's what his worry was in that moment.
Yep.
And so yeah. So yeah, it wasn't that he was just trying to trick Sam. Yeah, he was trying to trick Sam and like get her to suspect her and not him. But you know,
right.
I think I think that we might see like several different partnerships of Ghostface in the next one.
That's not out of the question either.
I think that maybe they might expand on it. Like there's several different killings in several different cities. I think there might be like a whole opening of like there's copycat killers all over the place, and some of them's gotten caught, some of them has not.
Bro, keep this in mind too. You know what I mean? So what did Kirby say about Jason and Greg? She said your two Vics were from my city. I've been monitoring their online activity for the last few months. Dermot even asked her, why? I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks, but yet we know for a fact that Jason and Greg never attacked anybody, at least from the dialogue we got from Jason, because that was his first time killing Laura.
That's true.
So what the fuck is she talking about? I take an interest in Ghostface attacks.
What did they do? They didn't say they did anything in Atlanta.
Right. But that's my thing, though, is that in that scene with Jason, when Ghostface says, tell me how it felt, bro, you can clearly tell that was his first time doing anything. And he even says to who he thinks is Greg or whatnot, I'm sorry, don't get mad. I got blue balls. I just had to try. I had to practice. You know what I mean? Like, and then the way he explains how he stabbed her and what it felt like, that's clearly telling me this is that boy's first time killing anybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Marcus,
like, so that's really interesting how Kirby says, I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks, yet this motherfucker ain't never attacked nobody. And what that leads me to believe anyway, is that she is behind the stab subreddit with whoever else is behind it, and she knows they were a part of it because they put them up to it. I believe that, bro. Like, I believe there's a whole bunch of things going on. What I'm believing is this, basically, is these motherfuckers from the start of Scream 5, they trying to recreate not just the movie, the entire franchise, bro. They're trying to recreate the entire first 3 movies. Richie was just worried about the requel or whatever. Whoever's truly behind it, the real mastermind, they're trying to recreate the whole franchise. And in my opinion, who better to do that than Samantha Carpenter? Why? Because it's legacy. It's her father's legacy. You know what I mean? Like, one way or another, that's her father basically started that. You know what I mean? Like, and his whole mission, him and Stu's, outside of killing Sidney Prescott, their whole mission was to make it look like they were survivors and make it to the sequel.
Here's a question, though. Here's a question.
What's up?
Where's the wife?
Who? Dermot's wife?
Yes.
Listen, bro. Now this is interesting. I don't know if you caught this interview with Liana Liberato, where she talked about that. And she said initially, before they took it out of the film and the writing, initially, we were supposed to get a scene where Dermot and Ethan kill her because she didn't want to go through with the killings. But they decided to cut that out. Now, why did they decide to cut that out is the big question. Another thing, too, is that the Kirsch Bailey name, that's not their real names. Even Radio Silence said that. They're pseudonyms. So
see, that's the thing, is like their names as well, like they're not matching up.
Right.
Yeah.
So who could the wife be? Maybe Leslie Mocker? I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it this way. I've been on this kick here lately because somebody asked me about Vince. Like, they said basically they're not believing Stu Mocker coming back until somebody can explain to them how and why he would kill his own nephew. my whole thing for that is maybe Vince was never really Stu's nephew at all. That's just what Amber said to try to connect the dots. Because one, Vince does have a different last name. Could be just his father's last name, but he does have a different last name. And we never got true visual confirmation that Leslie is his mother. We only hear it from Amber's mouth. Because that is a good question. You know what I mean? Why would Stu have his own nephew killed unless, and this is another thing I have for that as well, and it lines up with my whole Samantha mastermind, being a part of it with Richie and all them. Richie and them went rogue. They went up and broke the rules. You know what I mean? They were all supposed to be doing it together, but much like we've seen throughout the franchise, there's that one Ghostface that got their own agenda. And Richie and Amber, because he had her wrapped around his finger, you know what I mean? They decided to go rogue. That's how you can also explain how Vince ended up dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, like, bro, this shit is crazy, man. Like, and this is why I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm definitely I'm sure y'all seen it earlier. I did some other content, talked about a little bit of Saw, talked about, I did a Dr. Loomis video and all that stuff. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go check those videos out and stuff. Like, I'm getting other content on here, but I ain't gonna lie. This is why I do like talking about Scream a lot, because there's just so many layers to it.
I was about to say the same thing. Layers, man.
There's so many layers, you know what I mean? And there's so many things that you can come up with about what's happening, what is going to happen in this next film, what direction they're going to go in, what we saw in Scream 6, but also there's some things in Scream 6 that make you hark back to Scream 5. And when you really look at it, it's like, man, they were kind of showing us these things in Scream 5 before we even got to Scream 6. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, that's why I do think that they did better with Scream 6. Is to a certain degree, not all the way, but they made Scream 5 look a little bit better, just a little bit better, especially when you add the aspect in that there's possibly more killers involved than we got revealed.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's interesting, man. Like, it's crazy, man. But DeMarcus, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like personally, Kirby Reed being, the half sister of Sam and Tara, I can't see that.
I can't either.
I can't see that, because the reason why is because obviously Samantha and them would know that. I believe so already, because Kirby and them kind of seem to have a relationship back in high school. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I just feel like that's something that would have already been, revealed or something like that. This would have been the perfect time to do it if it was Kirby. You know what I mean? Unless, it's part of a bigger plan. But I can't see Kirby as the new Roman Bridger. I can see just Kirby being much like a Charlie, like somebody who is in the background and is a mastermind in that type of way, but they're also the help. Like I've said it before. You go back and rewatch Scream 4, there's definitely a case to be made that Kirby was helping both Charlie and Jill. Because I'm always going to go back to this until somebody can explain to me, unless these motherfuckers had a jetpack in that costume, how are they getting by? How are they getting around so fast in certain scenes? Preferably Jill at Stabathon. That makes no sense to me. But what does make sense to me is the two people that were there, Charlie Walker and Kirby Reed. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely something up with Kirby Reed. I just don't think she's going to be the new Roman Bridger.
Yeah, I think that Sydney's going to come back and establish that final girl next to Sam and Tara.
Yep.
And Kirby's going to be like, maybe she's one of the killers. Maybe they do go the brother angle that, that knows that Sam killed her stepdad or his dad or whatever. Right. And maybe that's who's working together is Kirby and the brother. I think that would be a pretty good damn reveal. You're like, you show the brother and then you show that it's Kirby coming out and it's like they're together. They're like boyfriend, girlfriend type thing. And they met long time ago.
Now, this may sound, a little raw and a little nasty,
Danny.
but listen, he's not. I mean, Samantha's not Carpenter's real daughter.
That's true. And
You know what I mean?
It could be a brother, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not Carpenter's real daughter. So that could be a sick way to do that, man. Like that would be. I know it might not be favorable with some. You know what I mean? But I just say take it into context that Samantha is not really Mr. Carpenter's daughter. So Danny's not really committing any sin there.
Yeah. It's not like
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit like that. So that would be that would be crazy, man.
look what I found the other day. I went to like this local store and I found the box set. It's a DVD box set of Scream. There is a slip that goes to this. I used to own this a long time ago and it had the slip to it. And years ago, I lost a bunch of my physical media. But when I saw this, I had to pick it up. I was like, maybe I can find the slip later or something. But this was like something that I cherished in my collection. It's got like a exclusive bonus and everything like that on it. But yeah, dude, I got this for like $12-13. I was like, hell yeah. I'm just gonna
so do me a favor, Destin, because I've always wanted to know this and I have to buy it myself. But when I was younger, when that box set came out, especially for Scream 3,
yeah,
when they did the whole special box set or whatever, and they said for Scream 3, there was an alternate ending killer reveal. And when they were doing the trailer for that, they showed, Ghostface taking off the mask, but they put a big X on the face. Yes.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Yes, they did. Like, I remember that. And I that always stuck with me about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then they also showed a little bit of Cotton, in the rooftop, that extra scene and all that. And then they was like, and stay tuned for the for a special alternate ending and alternate killer reveal. And they did that whole take the mask off and put the X, and I'm just like, so wait, does that mean there was some that Roman isn't the killer in that version?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I gotta check. I gotta buy it myself and just check it out. I'm all but sure it's not, because gosh, it would be on YouTube by now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But that's something when I was younger that I seen, for that advertisement, and always fascinated me. Like, man, what if there was a different killer, not Roman? Like, we know we were supposed to get Stu, but excuse me.
Yeah.
What if that would have been Angelina's reveal?
Damn.
Man, that's all right. So that's another thing I want to ask you about, buddy. Angelina Tyler is one Christina Carpenter.
You think so?
What do you feel about that?
I wouldn't be mad about it. I think that would be.
I think it can work.
It could work. I mean, I definitely could see it working.
Here's why I think it can work.
Some people are thinking that Jennifer Jolie or whatever is still alive because of
the drawings.
Huh?
Because of the drawings in the shrine?
No, the theater.
Oh, the theater. I caught that too.
Yeah.
I caught that too. That's interesting.
And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, she could still be alive as well. Like, honestly, I would love to see Parker Posey back. I think that would be really cool. I think, what if that's Christina Carpenter?
Bro, think about it this way. What did Jennifer say before she got stabbed? You can't kill me. I'm the killer in Stab 3. I'm the killer.
And this is the third.
Oh, bro. And we saw Roman fake his death, but even more importantly, Them two were shindigging from time to time.
Yeah. Yes, they were. Yeah. They had
Whoa,
relations. Yep.
bro. What if we unlocked a whole new theory that it's not Angelina, but it's Jennifer Jolie?
Dude, that would be. I think I would like that more.
I
Honestly.
think I would like that a lot more too. Whoa, hold up. It's oh man, especially with Gail. Like, yo, bro. Like, oh man, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, she didn't go through that much.
No, she got stabbed in the back. She got stabbed in the back, and then we see her get thrown through glass that was.
Well, Dewey shot the glass.
Yeah, that's right. Dewey did shoot the glass.
Did he shoot her, or did he just shoot the glass and she fell out?
I'm about to find out right now.
I always, for years, I was like, man, Dewey actually killed her.
I'm about to look right now. All right,
I thought it was always crazy
then,
that he was like shooting all the glass, but did not see the killer. Like, I don't know. It's like he skipped like one of the glasses.
right.
Man, I honestly, I think that would be kind of crazy, man. Like like Parker Posey, I was like, man, she was such a good character, and that would be so crazy if she was the actual killer. But like,
And it makes sense because she's an actress, so she would know how to fucking play dead.
Mm-hmm. And she was hiding right there whenever Gail checked Roman's pulse, and she pops out and says, "Is he dead?" She's like, "Yeah." And they just spoke. Why was she just standing there? Was her and Roman in on it?
Whoa, bro. That would be crazy. And you want to know something? If they would have revealed that in Scream 3, that really would have been a really good reveal. And the reason why I say that is because if you hark back to the original, it harks back to the rivalry between Gail Weathers and Sidney Prescott.
Yeah.
And it also ties in with the Scream 6 line when Ghostface says to Gail, "You would have made a good killer, Gail. You know, Sidney never made much sense. Dewey was a fan favorite, but you facing folding underneath the pressure and turning into Ghostface, then that's a good twist." That, I mean, if you do that with Jennifer Jolie, you're kind of getting that to a degree.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was kind of like, and like just putting her name up there on that theater and everything where the shrine was, like, it's just kind of like,
right.
She was behind it. She could have been from Atlanta. Like, I don't know, man, but like, honestly, like, I don't even honestly, I haven't seen anything that those two actresses have been in recently.
Right.
So I kind of want to see the way that they are now, like the way they act, and because like the older you get and everything, you kind of like you don't really, you kind of change over time, and you don't really have the same energy. So like a good example of that is Chris Tucker. Like, he's not the same Chris Tucker that I grew up with. Like, he's still good.
Right.
But he doesn't have the same energy. He's not the same Chris Tucker that we remember.
No, and he's as he got older, I mean, he got more wisdom, and he just turned more into a path of faith. That's why he doesn't want to do the comedy that he used to do anymore.
Right.
And stuff. Right. And he's been open about that and stuff like that. Like, trust me, I've always wanted him to come back for one more Friday movie. You know what I mean? And he said it too, because when there was big rumors swirling around it, he said, "Look, Cube approached me about it, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to do it, but then I just felt like where I'm at in my life, it's just no point for me to do it." You know what I mean?
He said Ice Cube didn't pay him for the last one.
Yeah, and then he said that too.
He said, and that's what a lot of the actors said, that like that first Friday movie, like he paid everybody like $5,000 a piece, and it grossed over $300 million.
Right. Well, that's funny. It's funny since we're talking about that type of numbers. That's just like Prince with Purple Rain. I was watching the interview with Vlad TV with Apollonia Quintero, and she said that movie went on to make however much it made around the same margin, you know, and stuff. And it broke box office records for like a music, you know, movie. And she only got $30,000 or whatever. But much to his credit, before he passed, Prince got a hold of her and gave her the catalog for Apollonia 6 so she can make some money off that trademark and stuff like that. But yeah, even Morris Day said that his music from the movie was supposed to be in the soundtrack to Purple Rain. The last minute, Prince cut it out. And that went on to sell for millions and millions. But the reason why Morris said he wasn't mad and Prince broke it down to him is because by Morris being in the movie alone, his first album, I believe is called Ice Cream Castle or something like that, sold over like 3 or 4 million copies.
Oh, shit.
So it was a win-win situation. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but make no mistake. Yeah. Like, it's crazy how much, you know, them actors, you know, you would assume they would get paid a lot, but they don't. Some of them don't.
Yeah. Not whenever it's like a first movie. You have to be like on your second movie that's like a huge hit and you know what kind of numbers you're looking at.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the thing. Like they're supposed to come back with another Rush Hour. Somebody said that.
I heard that too.
And I'm like, is Chris Tucker going to feel like Chris Tucker in that? Like, I'm just curious.
Right. So real quick, I just rewatched that scene from, you know, Jennifer Jolie's death scene in Scream 3, and Dewey basically shoots the top of the mirror. Okay. And then she basically gets, like, right as he shoots it, she kind of gets thrown through at the same time.
He's dead.
And when you see Ghostface stab her the second time, it looks like you can't really tell if they stabbed her or not. Yeah. Because it's so low, the camera action is so low.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, I'm really liking that. Like, I don't know. Like, and I see our good buddy Craven is here in the chat at 1:01 in the morning. What is going on, Craven? Real quick, I also want to say, what's up to Fats Curry?
Fats Curry.
What's going on? So real quick, Fats said, how did Danny send photos of Annika's attack to everyone in the friend group? Ooh.
Oh, he sent it to everybody or just one person?
Everybody got it. Wow, that's a good catch, Fats. Wow, I didn't even fucking catch that. See, let's go. Let's go.
Damn, I got to watch this again. I can't wait for it to come out on streaming because I'm going to buy it. And I hope there's some really good special features.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I kind of remember that. I kind of remember that now. Like everyone got that photo, and it's kind of like, how?
Wow.
I could see Sam getting it.
Right, but all of them, when they don't
even know him.
Yeah. The plot thickens. The plot thickens, Destin. Oh, man. Good catch, Fats, because I'm not going to lie to you. That flew by. That flew over my head. I'm not even going to lie. I've been too focused on that lookalike of Charlie Walker. Like, man. And, you know, Kirby and stuff. That's a great catch. Because, yeah, he definitely did send that to everybody in the friend group. At the same time, all their phones pinged.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's suspect, man. That is suspect. But Craven, real quick, what's going on, Craven? Steven saying, hey, fellas, heading to bed, but saw you're live and wanted to jump in and say hello. Have a great stream. QQ. I think he means to say Stu. Or whatever. I'm taking that's what you're saying, Steven. Unless that was just a typo. But thank you for stopping in, buddy. I greatly appreciate you, Steven. And real quick, Steven, before you head to bed, I don't know if you've been listening to the conversation for like the last 10, 15 minutes, but what do you feel about Jennifer Jolie actually being alive and actually being the one who was Roman's accomplice? Like, because if
Why
you
was
check
she standing there over his dead body?
if you've seen it, Craven, at the movie theater, Jennifer Jolie's name is on the movie theater outside when Kirby's looking at it in Scream 6, right before the final act of the shrine scene happens. And me and Destin has been talking here over the last 15 minutes about it. It feels like it anyway, and stuff. And I don't know, Craven. I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, it might be an even better idea if it was Jennifer Jolie because of the ability to play dead. I know Angelina had that, shoulder wound, which, definitely still, keeps her in the hunt as well. You know what I mean? Not shying away from Angelina, but Jennifer, would make sense as well because she also had a relationship with Roman. So, I mean,
and no, I'm wrong. I was about to say something about Milton, but that was Angelina.
Yeah. Angelina admitted to diddling with Milton and stuff, and that's the interesting thing though is that Roman and Roman and Jennifer before that whole faking his death scene were talking about how they were together. When she says to him, "Stop acting like I wasn't the best you ever had," and he's like, "I'll stop acting like I even remember," and she says, "Stop pretending," and then literally Roman goes to fake his death, and then she's screaming out to him like. And then she goes down there, and then we don't see what happens in between that time until Gail gets there and finds his body.
Yeah, it's them setting it up, and it was like Roman playing games with Angelina or not Angelina, with Jennifer, and then they set it all up, and then Gail comes down there, and it's just like, is he dead? Yeah, and then they just both run off. Now, if they do something like that, they have to have a showdown with Gail and Jennifer Jolie.
Oh yeah,
they have to do something big with it.
This is another thing, how they referenced the Jennifer Jolie character at the shrine, at the theater too. Gail's card, how she got in.
They did the same thing on the set. Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you think about like the whole like Hollywood coming to Woodsboro idea? Making a new Stab, making the requel to Stab on location in Woodsboro. So it's kind of like we got the blend of the two.
Oh no, I love that idea. It comes full circle.
It really does.
It comes full circle. The only thing is this time around, and even for Stu to come back, because Billy is as tied to Stu as Stu is tied to Billy.
Yeah.
I would have wanted at Billy Loomis's house. Because let's say even if Samantha isn't a mastermind, right?
Yeah.
What if Stu wants her to become one? What if Stu wants her to become a Ghostface? So they put it all together at Billy's house to make it come full circle. Join us, Sam.
Yeah.
I would love that. I think that would be a brilliant plan. I think that would be a nice way to blend Scream 3 in with Scream 7, and you're still getting different.
Yeah.
You're having the movie within the movie on actual location.
And if they were taking like, they're like, hey, we're actually going to film on location where Casey Becker died. We're going to kill where Principal Henry died. And it was just kind of like, oh, I can't believe they're doing this. And it's like this big controversy in the media. And it's just, and it brings Gail Weathers in. And it's just this big thing, I really, really like the idea. And I really think that would be really cool to do that because you're kind of blending the first with that Hollywood feel. Craven is still in the chat, and I'm going to say this right now, and I want to see what he thinks. And I know I've said this earlier, but what? Oh man, like, okay, so the whole idea of what we were discussing earlier, Marcus, about the therapist talking, and if it's very easy to miss because you got the ambulance or the cops or whatever that go by the window, and you got and it's a very quick transition to this scene of her talking to her therapist, and he says, "We've talked before about the abusive relationship with your father." She had no relationship with Billy Loomis.
Mm-hmm.
He was referring to her stepfather. Had to. There's no way she didn't have an abusive relationship with her with Billy. She didn't even never even meet him.
Nope.
So he's thinking father, but it's really stepfather. It's really Tara's dad that supposedly left.
Right.
So there was something there more, and I know we've already said it, and a lot of, and, you know, some people might not even agree, but you know, maybe that abusive relationship progressed once he found out it wasn't his daughter. Maybe he was already abusive, but it just escalated when he realized this wasn't his kid.
Well, see, the thing is,
treated her differently.
what we do keep in mind, I think it would be before he left, because we got to keep in mind that night where Samantha revealed that Billy was the real father, she said he left that night.
He left that night.
Yeah, she told Tara that he left that night.
So he had to have been abusive before he had that information.
Yep.
So what happened that night?
But the question I think is the real big question is, why was he abusing her? Did he always know?
Secretly know.
Did he always secretly know? Because you got to think, if this little 13-year-old girl was she went in the attic and easily found those diaries, why wouldn't he? Especially if he's moving stuff up to the attic and stuff like that. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He would easily be able to find it as well. Why would he not want to go through Christina's diaries to see how she really feels?
But why is there even a part of the story here? Why it was never mentioned or anything? So there's obviously an abusive relationship there. So like I've said from Scream 5, like, did she actually kill her stepdad though? From being, maybe he was already abusive, and then that night he kind of snapped, and she snapped also with all these emotions going on, finding out that this isn't her real dad, and something happened, you know? Like, I don't know. I think there's more there to it.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be revealed in the next one or later on down the road or something, and I think it's going to cause a conflict between the sisters, because Tara's going to be torn, being like, you killed my dad.
Right.
And she's going to have like a lot of torn emotions here. Like, I can't look at you the same. I can't do this. Like, I don't know which way they will go with that, but I think that I think we're going to have a downfall with the sisters at some point, and then they're going to have to come back together. You know, like, that's how a lot of these movies happen. Like, you have this relationship, they have a falling out, and then they have to come back together.
Yeah, to defeat, they have to band back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, I think you're onto something with the whole dad thing, man, because excuse me, we talk about it all the time. They don't put things in there for no reason. Even if you miss it initially, they don't do that for no reason.
Yeah.
They said that for a reason, and we know this. Billy Loomis and her had no relationship. And the thing is this, whenever we do see Billy, it's not abusive. He's encouraging her.
Yeah. It's her strength.
Right. So that definitely is a sign that Mr. Carpenter, whoever he may be, you know, and we got to start thinking. We got to start thinking here. Maybe all these names are pseudonyms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know, if the Kirsches and the Bailey names are, why aren't anybody else's? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But I definitely think you're onto something, man, and that's interesting, because that could be an interesting dynamic, especially going forward, especially going into Scream 7, because, you know, I mean, you do got to, kind of put it out there. What if, her stepfather, if he is alive, right? Let's just say he is alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if he's the one who's putting, all this together?
I think that maybe it possibly could be, but I think that it would, if they're going to mirror anything of Scream 3, I think he's going to have another son from a previous marriage or somebody that he left out in the cold.
Right.
Similar to Marine. And that son is going to try to come after. I think we're going to get some sort of brother angle, but I don't think that's going to be the only angle. I think there's going to be more to it.
Whether
Stu is working with them, whether it's Kirby, whether it's Danny, whether it's all of the above. I think that there's got to be a family dynamic to it. If it Scream 6 kind of put that on it, like it could be a sister. It might not be a brother. It might be a sister.
Right.
You might, I mean, they could change it up just a little bit, but it'd be the same, just like how it was Maureen Prescott. I mean, it was Billy Loomis's mom. Well, this is Richie's dad. Instead of it being Sydney's brother, this is Sam's sister, like be another sister.
That's interesting, man. It could definitely happen, man. Like this movie, man. There's so many twists and turns, especially after you rewatch it so many times, man. And it's just interesting to see what 7 is going to bring us.
Honestly, I want them to bring in another writer.
I mean, it's possible, man. They're talking. I mean, Guy Busick said, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the writer who said it, one of the writers who said it, he said that there might be some new blood. At least he referenced it anyway.
Yeah. And what is it? Is it Guy and James Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And James Vanderbilt also wrote that new murder mystery movie with Adam Sandler, Murder Mystery 2, that's on Netflix right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw his name pop up as one of the writers, and I was like, oh, well, he just
did Scream.
Yeah. So he's obviously on the whole murder mystery thing, but that movie was also very predictable. And I'm like, that's why I'm kind of like, I want another writer to come in because I don't want it to be predictable. You can have one killer be predictable, but not everybody, like I want to be shocked to the point to where it's like, I never saw that coming.
Right. That's the thing. And that's the thing I have a problem with for radio silence is that they said that in an interview that they knew for a fact that basically they blatantly made Dermot especially look guilty. Like he's the killer.
Yeah. But it's like, why?
Right. And I think
did the same thing to Ethan,
I think they honestly get a kick out of it, like for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, that's cool. At least in your perspective, the whole perspective of us, the fans, is to be shocked. And I'm sorry, when this guy comes walking out of the scene where his daughter supposedly died, which I already knew was a fake out.
Yeah.
When you see that scene, I knew that was a fake out. Yeah. There's no way she doesn't know Ghostface is in a room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he comes out and he's doing all that, and I'm just like, really, Dermot? Like, you're killing me, Smalls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. At that point, I knew for a fact he was a killer. And then just to top it off, you fuck with my family, you die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as he says it up, well, yep, he's the killer. I already knew Quinn was the killer because even before that, when she references about her brother, I'm just like, oh, there we go. I'm like, yep, she's a killer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need another writer in the writing room. Like, okay, you can try to make some things obvious, but you better. I want to feel psyched out. I want to be like surprised just a little bit. Even though in Scream 2, I was still surprised whenever it was Mrs. Loomis. Like,
hell yeah, man.
I knew it was Mickey. I knew Mickey was one. But I was surprised with Mrs. Loomis. I was surprised with Stu Macher.
Right.
In Scream 3, I was kind of like, that didn't really surprise me. I wanted something a little bit better, but I accepted it. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Scream 4, I was spoiled on the killers, but I think that if I would have went in with fresh eyes, Jill would have really surprised me. I think that was a really cool reveal.
Gotcha.
Charlie was pretty obvious. So that's what I'm saying is like there's always that obvious person. I think it would be really cool if Adam Brody, the other cop in Scream 4,
Yeah.
if he was still alive. I mean, he probably got the weakest kill of the entire franchise if you really think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got one stab and he was like, oh, and he falls over. It's like,
It's the same with Vince's kill, in my opinion. I never.
well, that was like
I know. Yeah, but that was like
I kind of liked it. I thought it was different.
the reason I guess the reason why I don't it's not that I don't like the fashion of it. What I don't like is that you expect us to believe that he died from that poke to the neck, but yet we're seeing Kirby get shot twice, stabbed in the same spot. Chad gets stabbed 17 times through 2 films. Tara, just get picked apart in the opening scene, and they're living.
Yeah, honestly, I think that whole Chad thing, I think he was supposed to die. I think that was all an afterthought. That was a last minute thing that was just like,
well, I think they decided to turn him to the new Dewey.
And they were just kind of like, he's too likable of a character. We got to keep him going. He's kind of like a little bit of the comedy relief. He's big brother of the group, whatever. We got to keep it going. And I get it. It's smart, but it's just like, well, you should have changed that scene.
Right. You should have did it. You should have did it differently. Like you should have did that.
Yeah.
Right. If anybody, at least in my opinion, and it would have helped. I mean, but then again, they would have already threw him through the bookcase, so maybe not. But if you would have even did the Gale scene differently, I would have rather seen 2 Ghostface attack her, because then at least it would explain for how the hell that guy got thrown through the bookcase.
Yeah. Honestly, I've always wanted to see that. I've wanted to see 2 Ghostface on one victim. And if you're going to do that to anybody, you need to do that to one of the OGs that, like, okay, they can take on one Ghostface, but you put 2 of them on them, they get taken out.
Right, exactly.
They weren't expecting that.
Right.
I'll be right back.
Yep. All right, go for it, buddy. So Craven, something scary. Steven says, it's an interesting idea about Jennifer. Definitely fun to consider. However, I still think Angelina is the accomplice. But like I said, I love the theorizing and considering it. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, listen, again, I'm not sitting there saying it's not Angelina. She definitely could still be the accomplice. I definitely still think you can even make the case that if this Jennifer Jolie thing on the movie theater means nothing, that Angelina Tyler could actually still be Christina Carpenter, But, Jennifer Jolie is a good theory. You know what I mean? I after really going through it and talking about it the last few minutes, I wouldn't be mad if that was revealed. I'll say that. I would not be mad at all. I would like it. I would. Especially because of her relationship with Roman. And the fact that we know that she's an actress and she can play dead. Okay, so Scott says, Destination Station, can you do me a favor? Can you tell Marcus about Ghost in the Darkness for me? Because he hasn't seen it before. I tried to tell him about it, but last night he hasn't seen the movie. Yeah, I haven't. So maybe when Destin gets back, he can let me know what's up with it. Trying to get to some of you guys' questions and comments here. I seen your one comment. Oh, yes. Val said, the Spicy General says, one of y'all better do a watch party of Scream 6 when it comes out on streaming. Oh, no, definitely. That's definitely happening. No doubt about it. I've already had that planned. Vampira's coffin is in the chat. What's going on, Vampira? So basically, stepdad is Roman. LOL. Let's hope Sidney is not Sam's mom. Hey, I actually do hope for that, Vampira. I actually do hope for that. I actually think it's really possible. So I'm trying to see if you said something before that. I don't think so. Vladimir Vicheka.
So that would make that would make Roman survive, right?
Huh?
That would have made what go back to that last one?
Hold on real quick. What's up, Vladimir? Hope you're having a great night. Vladimir says Canada and Scream 7. Oh, I mean, possibly. Nev Campbell is from Canada.
That'd be crazy if it took place in the same night or something like that. You know?
Wait a minute. They're talking about something. Hold on. Because I seen Craven say, yep, it's stepfather. Yeah, he was responding to what you said, Destin, about the stepfather, about Sam.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, honestly.
Vampire's Coffin said, so basically stepdad is Roman. LOL, let's hope Sidney is not Sam's mom. LOL. So basically what Vampire is saying, like, I guess that Roman would be Samantha's stepfather.
I don't see that.
I don't neither. He got shot in the head.
Yeah. I don't. He didn't survive that.
Nah.
Roman's dead.
But I guess I'm thinking in the context what they're saying to so many ways. If we believe Angelina to be alive, or even Jennifer Jolie, and obviously, you know, but especially Angelina, because we have this theory that Angelina is Christina Carpenter. Basically, because if Angelina did have a relationship with Roman, that would, I guess, you know, because, you know, Angelina's involved with Roman, so that's a way to say Roman's Sam's stepfather, I guess.
Let's say that Angelina or Jennifer Jolie is not Christina Carpenter.
Okay.
Which is kind of, think about this, dude. JJ, Jennifer Jolie, Christina Carpenter, CC. It's kind of seems like a stage name a little bit. You all right over there? Don't go dying on me now.
bro. Yo, man. I mean, it's definitely not impossible, Ross. I like that. I see what you did there. That's a good point. And this is another thing. This is another thing to keep in mind too. Why was CC Cooper's pictures, her drawings in the shrine, right? We didn't get drawings of Kirby. We didn't get drawings of Stu. We didn't get drawings of Charlie. There's some main characters here that did not get any drawings in that shrine. Yet CC Cooper, who was a non-factor, she was just somebody there to be killed, her drawings show up. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just thinking about, you know, because that whole CC thing, there's a little underhanded gesture there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, and there's another thing. Like, I don't know if you caught it. Somebody said that they felt like they did see Stu's sweater beside Billy's or right behind Billy's. Did you see Stu's clothes that he died in?
I have to watch it again. I haven't.
Me too. I didn't see him.
Now, I do remember this. I saw it in an image, but I did not see it in the movie, and I'm going to watch it very closely the next time I watch it. There was an image, there was a screenshot of a shrine, and it's like, hey, look, there's an axe that was like in a fire, you know, like one of those fire escape things, like
Scream 2.
Yeah, like Scream 2. And they're like, it's the one that Sidney used in Scream 2, and it's just like another Easter egg. I was like thinking, but nobody pointed out You look over on one of the mannequins, that's not a traditional Ghostface Scream costume. That's a slicker like from the TV series, the Brandon James stuff. And I was like, that's not a traditional Ghostface costume. That's either an Easter egg to I Know What You Did Last Summer, or it's the costume from
Scream the TV series.
yeah. But nobody else has said anything. I brought it up in a video.
Yeah,
But
I didn't catch that shit.
it's only in. It might not be even be in the movie, but I did see the image before I saw the movie, and it was like an image of the shrine, and it was from like another angle, and I was like, nobody's pointing this out. This is out of place.
Well, this is another thing that I know nobody's pointing out, and I'm actually going to point it out right now.
You got the floor. Oh shit! We're on the floor.
I'm on the floor. Okay, so let me hold this bad boy. I'm trying to charge it and keep it up at the same time. Okay, so all the masks that we've gotten in Scream 6, right? We got Charlie and Jill's, we got Roman Bridger, and then we got Richie, Stu, supposedly anyway.
Yeah.
Mrs. Loomis and Billy's. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Hold on. So let's recount that. Roman, Billy, Stu, Jill and Charlie's mask, Mrs. Loomis's mask. Mickey's mask is missing. Amber Freeman's mask is missing.
Oh.
I mean, my thing is this. I mean, they had every single mannequin. There's 9 mannequins up there.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that could be a sign that there's more killers. And there's going to be revealed in 7. Where are the other masks? I mean, and why were these particular ones only used, in this film? Like, it's something that really stood out to me, like, that nobody was really talking about, was like, we didn't get all the masks revealed in this film. We only seen a few of them. There's still a couple out there.
It would be crazy just to bring back everybody that wasn't, all the killers that weren't shot in the head.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You just bring back everybody that wasn't shot in the head, and it was just like, yeah, we survived.
I'm telling you, bro, it's possible. Listen, with Scream 6, and I don't know if you agree with this, Destin, and I did a video about this. Nobody can never tell me now that nobody can ever question, how did Stu Macher survive his injuries? From what you saw in Scream 5 and 6 with these characters, you cannot question any dead killer that we may believe to be alive in this franchise, considering what we especially have seen with Chad. I'm sorry. If Chad can survive all those stab wounds to his body, Charlie Walker could survive his stab wound to the chest and stab wound to the stomach. Stu Macher could survive his stab wounds and the electrocution, the mini electrocution from the TV. Angelina Tyler could survive definitely her stab wound to the shoulder. Jennifer Jolie, I mean, even though she wasn't revealed as a Ghostface, you know what I mean? It's just a point. Even certain characters.
Bring back Sarah Darling.
Oh man.
I'm just fucking. I'm just
kidding. Man. But I'm just saying, like, it's just like, it's so crazy what they've done. And I think they've done that on purpose compared to the original 3, is that they are letting us know, especially when it comes to Stu Macher.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they even said that, dude. They said that they could bring anybody back if they really wanted
to.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they would be smart to bring Stu back at this point. I really do. I think it would be really smart. You're going to please a wide audience with that. And with the audience that is just like an average moviegoer that doesn't like follow Scream to the T, they're going to be shocked by that. And then that's publicity on top of it, because they're going to be like, I can't believe they did that. They're going to talk about that. But Matthew Lillard, when he comes back, he's gonna have to fucking kill it, dude.
Oh, he will.
He's gonna have to
I have no question about that because he really wants it. And I think what he's banking on, and he even kind of said this at a convention when somebody asked him about being in Scream 6 or 7, he said, excuse me, and I quote, he said, well, I'm not in Scream 6. He said, but, there's room for possibility for Scream 7 if they want to do it. What I'm hoping is that my performance in Five Nights at Freddy's will hopefully speak to those directors. So we'll see. Because he's supposed to play the bad guy in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's a game.
I'm about to start really getting into the nitty gritty details about that or whatever. But I know he's supposed to be playing the villain.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I think he's banking on that performance to bring it home for us. Honestly, if they already didn't have it planned, I think he's really banking on that.
Like a total misfire. Like if it's like not a
right.
I mean, it doesn't have to really perform well.
I really don't think it will be. I don't think it will be because there's a lot of for a movie that is like not like a Scream, a Halloween, or something. Saw. That movie's getting a lot of attention. It's getting a lot of attention. Like even when he's mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's at that convention, the crowd start cheering.
I'm calling it now.
There's people excited for it.
I'm calling it now. Scream 7's opening kill is Mia Goth.
That's funny because Craven actually did a video about that the other day. He did a video the other day about 4 people he would like to see in Scream 7 and possibly be a kill or whatever. And she was number 1, and Daniel Kaluuya was number 2. Sadie Sink, I think, was number 3 on that list. And there was somebody else as well.
No, I mean, I'm just thinking like just how like you always want like a big name like that's somebody that's on the uprise right now.
Right. Oh, she's perfect. Mia Goth is perfect for it.
And you can't just put her in the movie because you're going to suspect she's a killer just because of Pearl or something.
Right.
Especially she's got Maxine coming out. But like, I just think that like, I don't know. Like honestly, I think that they should bring in some other young talent as well. Like from some of these shows like Riverdale or something like some people have said like the mother of Veronica on Riverdale should be Christina Carpenter. And I'm like, I could see that, like being Sam and Tara's mom. The mother in Riverdale. I don't know if you ever watched Riverdale, but Ulrich is in it too. So
hold on.
I don't know the actresses.
I'm about to look it up. You said Veronica Riverdale?
Yeah.
Okay. Working with the lefty. All right. Veronica Riverdale.
But second thought. If they were mirroring Scream 3, it's going to be somebody that's the opening kill that's a surviving cast from the last film. Whether that be Kirby, Chad, Mindy, Gail Weathers. Oh, Jamie put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
What's up,
Camilla
Jamie?
Mendez.
What's up, girl?
Camilla Mendez.
Huh?
Camilla Mendez?
That's Veronica. Her mom. I'm talking about her mom. Jamie put it in the chat. Marisol
Nichols. She played in Spiral. Yep. I'd be down for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was in Spiral. That's right.
Yep. Marisol Nichols. Yep. Book it. I'd be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She's a good actress. She has a hell of a fucking story too. I don't know if you ever got into her background, but bro, it's crazy. Like what she's went through in her life to be where she's at now.
Yeah.
And shit. Like
really?
It's crazy. Yeah, man.
I haven't
But
like
that's
kept up with like the Riverdale stuff or anything like that. But like, I mean, like the first couple seasons I watched it. It takes a lot for me to like stay with like a show.
right.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
man.
one.
I
I'll tell
mean,
you one show that it was a mini series, and it's a whodunit. But have you ever seen Harper's Island?
yeah, you put me onto that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that shit, bro. We did a live stream, and you told me about it. And literally, after we got done with that live stream, I binge watched that entire fucking season, the whole day. I didn't go to bed or nothing.
Yeah.
And I remember messaging you. I'm like, "Yo, bro, this shit's
That's
fucking
right.
fantastic." Like, I loved it. Harper's Island is great.
Yeah, it is. It
It
does
has
not get
that.
the recognition.
No, it doesn't, and it definitely does have that Scream feel to it, especially once you get to the end. It's
Yep.
really good, and it's brutal too. I like that.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's
Yep.
good. It's got the girl from
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I
Hell
really
yeah,
liked
man.
it.
It was really good. I'm about to say, I forget what the guy was from. Was it Ben 2.0?
Man, I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
so.
I might actually do like a watch party or something like that on my channel just to bring that to
Bro, bring it
more
up, man.
audiences, man.
Yo, if I'm not working, I'll fucking join you, man, because that's a great show.
It was like, what was it, like maybe 10 or less episodes? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
about I want to say 10 episodes, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely really, really good. And I was like, man, this is so damn good. Like this is, and it was like in that era of when we weren't getting any type of slashers, you know? And it was like, man, this is what I wanted. So anyway.
Right. Scott Walker says, Destination Station, I've got something to tell you. I found an article recently. Nev Campbell will return if Matthew Lillard returns as Stu Mocker again. Okay, so I want you to share your thoughts with Scott on this, Destin. I'm gonna go hit the bathroom real quick, and then I'm actually gonna try to see if I can find this article, because Scott said this a couple days ago, and I never really got around to seeing if I can find that article, and I actually kind of want to see real quick, because that is interesting as she said that. But I just feel personally, why would she come out and say that, knowing that that's going to basically be a dead giveaway?
Yeah, that's the question I have right now is like, I do want to see that. Scott, if you got a link, send it to us. We'll definitely check it out. I haven't seen that. I haven't heard Nev Campbell say anything like that. I know that like Nev Campbell and Matthew Lillard was in a relationship back in the day. And sometimes like, I don't know, but sometimes I wonder if that's the conflict of interest of bringing Stu back, is maybe they don't want to be in the same film, but they're at cons together. They're on screen panels and stuff like that together, but I never see them in anything that I've ever seen at like any conventions, any screen panels or anything like that. They're never sitting side by side. I never really see them two interact together. And I've always thought, like, is there more there? Like, is there more drama there? I'm not like, I'm like speculating here, but and I don't want there to be, but I wonder if like maybe that's a conflict of interest of like Nev Campbell doesn't want to be in the same movie as him because they did used to have a relationship together. Like who knows? Like some people, they have like different reasons of why they won't be in the same movie together. Like that happens all the time in Hollywood. But they are in the same room together. They are, like supportive of each other. They take photos with other fans. But even in like those photos, I never see like Nev Campbell standing next to Matthew Lillard. And I wonder if there's just like this like known like separation type thing. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I don't know. But Scott, I want to see that link. Which that would be really cool. I think that would be really, really interesting to see. And I do want to see it. I want to see Sidney and Stu react again. So I don't know. Marcus, have you ever noticed, like, in anything, like, I was just talking about this, like, even, like, whenever I met Nev Campbell and Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, Jamie Kennedy, all them, I never see Nev Campbell sitting next to Matthew Lillard. And they used to have a relationship together back in the day. So and I never really see them interact with each other either. Like I wonder if like there's like a certain like like because they did have a relationship, maybe there's just like a certain understanding.
Yeah, like there's some awkwardness there.
Yeah. So there's like a certain understanding, like we have to keep our distance from each other. So I mean, I don't know. I could be thinking too much into it, but everything that I've ever seen, I've always speculated on that. And I've always been like, am I thinking too much into this or am I right here? It just feels like something that's like, I'm trying to think of it from like a personal standpoint of like being in a relationship with like one of your exes or something like that. Like, is it something that's just like, hey, we don't want to cross these boundaries here. We're going to keep our distance. Like, and maybe that's why we didn't get Stu back much. I mean, I don't know. Man. But Scott, I do want to see that link, so please send that to us.
Yeah, because I'm looking at like I just put in Nev Campbell, Matthew Lillard, and the only articles I'm seeing that are coming up are from 2022. And that's when basically Matthew stands up for Nev about the salary dispute and all that. There's nothing popping up about Nev talking about Matthew or anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, Scott, definitely send us a link to that article if you can. Leave it in the chat or whatnot. Or if you know what site that was on, let me know so I can check it out. But I'm just going to be honest, like not trying to be ignorant. I think that was a site that was wrong in their information. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because I just can't imagine Nev Campbell saying, I'm not coming back to Scream unless you bring Matthew back as Stu Macher. That to me is just because then if we do get Nev Campbell back, well, now we're all going to be expecting Matthew to fucking be there too. And I don't want to expect him to be there. I want it to be a surprise. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I definitely see if you can find out about that article, what site that was from, drop a link or just send me the site and I'll go fishing on it because, yeah, I don't know.
I've always like imagined like that moment that we do get Stu Macher back. I want it in Stu Macher fashion, like we did in 1996 when Sidney tries to take off running and runs into him into that doorway.
Right.
I picture something like that happening. Like a killer is revealed. And then she takes off running and you run into Stu and it's like, oh, like you got to have that in game feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
would say this. I would rather see like if she does run into him, he's in the Ghostface costume. He's got the mask on. And then he just pulls up the voice changer. And he's like, surprise, Sidney. And then he pulls off the mask.
Yes. Yeah.
That you get the 2-for-1 special.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get the 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
So I'm all with it.
Yeah. Man, I hope it is, man. And that's the thing is like, I honestly, I want Kevin Williamson in that writing room, man. I want him in there. Or somebody else. Like I'm okay with the writers, but when it comes to the mystery element, when it comes to that big reveal of shocking, I want to be shocked. I'm tired of not being shocked.
Right. Another thing too, or whatnot, and these writers and even Radio Silence even realize and acknowledge that the Bailey character being a pseudonym kind of hurts because how the writers wrote him as a NYPD detective.
Mhm.
Because it's like, okay, so how can his name not be Bailey and not be Kirsch, but he's a cop and he's getting accepted into the NYPD after transferring and all that stuff. Like, that's another thing with the writers. Like, you're writing certain characters in ways it's so many ways they don't kind of make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got like what, Quinn, and then you got Ethan. What was
Yep.
Ethan's last name?
Landry.
Okay. And then so like Richie's last name had to have been his mother's last name. So maybe he didn't have custody of Richie.
Maybe.
So you're gonna have to like at least explain some of this stuff.
Right.
And that's the thing where I'm saying like the writing has to be a little bit better, because I feel like it's kind of like, no, if you really stand back and you really look at this, it's kind of like this. None of this shit makes sense.
Right. Yo,
And I
let me
want
ask
it to
you
make
this.
sense.
Who do you think drew those drawings in the shrine?
Who do I think that drew the drawings?
Yeah.
Have we had any characters that are artists or drawers or?
Well, no, but I think that's the beauty of it, that we don't know about that yet. Maybe one of them was.
I did find that interesting. I did like, huh?
Because
Why is there drawings?
initially I thought it was Richie.
Who is an
But then,
art student?
initially I thought it was Richie who did the drawings.
Mm-hmm.
But now, especially after listening to Craven and Eric and Brett, Craven had a live stream a few nights ago, and he brought this up. They brought this up to him, and I think Craven also caught it as well initially. But when you get to Principal Hembry's drawing, the drawing is him dead in the office. Why is that significant? Is because whoever drew that picture has to be the one who was there who killed them in the office. Because remember, his body was found hanging on the goalpost.
Which I always wanted to see.
You know what I mean?
I always wanted to see that. I was like, I mean, that sounds so fucked up, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it would be a pretty
I
cool
want to
image.
see that motherfucker.
Because, see, this is what's interesting, too, is that you see the rope. You see the rope in the case with Principal Hembry. But that drawing doesn't make sense. Whoever drew that picture of Principal Hembry knows that he died in the office.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I will say this. I mean, I'll say this. Could it be Stu? Yeah. And the reason why I say it could be Stu is, one, we don't know if Stu is a talented artist. And not only that, what do people do when they're in jail? They pick up new hobbies.
Oh.
Some of that is art.
Yeah.
Drawing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
someone
I can see that.
Someone asked, well, you know, you did see drawings of Samantha there and all that stuff. So how would Stu know about that? Maybe Stu knew about Samantha. He knows it. Maybe he knows about Samantha. It's, you know what I mean? If you're not thinking of Samantha as a mastermind like I am, you know what I mean? And you have to question, how would Stu know about Samantha Carpenter? Well, he was Billy Loomis's best friend. You don't think he knew he wasn't tagging something else? I mean, he could have been in the unknown. That's very true, because he didn't know what Billy's real motive or intention was for killing Sidney or killing Maureen until he found out that night in '96. But it's more chances than not that your homies is going to know when you're messing around on your girl.
Yeah.
Especially when they kind of hinted at that in Scream 1996, when you see Billy in the video store and he's talking to those two chicks.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm telling you, man, it's interesting, man. But there's definitely, you know, some missing things from that shrine that should be there. Like, I found that fascinating how We didn't get no drawings of Kirby Reed, but we got drawings of damn near everybody else. It's the people of the franchise that stick out to me that don't matter, like Principal Hembry, CC Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Why are those drawings there, but we don't have drawings of Kirby Reed, Charlie Walker, and Stu Macher? And the reason why I believe that is because they are signaling in a way that these three characters are actually all alive. You know what I mean? Like, why else would you not have it? They even have a picture, they even have a drawing of Jennifer Jolie, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But you don't got no drawings of Kirby, Stu, or Charlie.
Yeah.
Like, something's off with that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
Like, there's something that's off with that. You know what I mean? And I definitely do think that Scream 6 showed us that there's a greater plan in the works.
I've always pictured, like, if this is like how I would make it some way like play out,
Mm-hmm.
I would do that whole concept of Hollywood coming to Woodsboro and shooting on location, and they're making a requel. Maybe they're making a remake. I don't know. But they're shooting a film in the exact locations of the victims. They're doing it at it's kind of like a true crime type story, but they're shooting the movie on location.
Right.
But how do we get our core 4 back to Woodsboro? The opening kill being the Meek's mother.
I like that. That makes sense.
That makes
a lot of sense.
That brings them back to Woodsboro where they're making the movie, but that's why she's killed, is to bring them all back. Because what are you going to do if your mom gets killed? You're definitely leaving. You're going.
Right.
You know, so, and honestly, I think that, I mean, like, I know it's kind of weird to mention, but I think she's overstayed her welcome a little bit. I think like, okay, yeah, she's popped in and out of Scream 3, but now you brought her back in Scream 5. Yeah, she's definitely on the victim list. Like, she's definitely a body that you could pile up and use to your advantage. And bringing the Meeks back to Woodsboro, that would be it. And then you got everybody else that tags along as well. So I don't know, man. It's like, you know, I kind of like the whole 2-part story. Like, I feel like there's going to be so much to dive into that you're going to have to do like a Scream 8 or a part 2 of Scream 7 or whatever. I kind of like wish they didn't go with Scream 6 and they just went with Scream A New Beginning or something, you know, like something like that, because now we're just like, that was the thing that everybody was questioning, was like, hey, you drop the number and your movie will make more, because they don't really look at it as like the 6th or 7th or 8th film in the franchise. But Scream 6 just showed that that's not the fucking case.
Right.
They just showed that that's not the case at all. Like,
and it's funny because all in the marketing, they never referred to it as Scream 6 or Scream V1. They referred to it as Scream.
Yeah.
So
how are they going to do? How are they going to do the Scream 7 logo? That's how I want to know.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, for all that, they just should have did Scream 5, Scream 6, Scream 7.
Yeah.
We already know what it is, especially when you continue from the original story and you're just adding a new layer into it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I like Radio Silence. I like them. I just think with certain things, because we are so spoiled by the greatness of Wes Craven, that a lot of things that they're going to do, we're not used to. So we might not like it so much. You know what I mean? It might be cool for the new generation, but for us old school, Scream lovers, we know that shit ain't flying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like they gotta do a better job of tightening things up. Like, and if I'm these directors, especially because you are the directors of the film, I get it. The writers are the writers, but it's things like that when you can acknowledge in an interview that one of your main character, it's supposed to be your main Ghostface, his story or his character arc doesn't add up. When you say his name is a fake name, but yet he's working as a cop. When you can acknowledge that that's a mess up, to me as a director, that's where I need to go to my writer and be like, okay, listen, we need to short things like these up. Tighten that up.
Yeah.
I mean, because that can't happen. Now, it's like you said earlier, though. What was the original script? Because I will say this, and they even admitted this. Radio Silence said before Nev Campbell exited, there was an entirely different script and motive. So
different motive, huh?
Yes. So I can only imagine what that would have been.
See, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, man. And thanks to, the big suits in the studio, we will, unless we find out years later, of course, in Q&As and all that stuff, what could have been.
The next time I meet Nev, I'm gonna, she's not gonna tell me. I mean, she might. They didn't give her the price. She might be the one to spill the beans.
She might drop a hint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if she dropped a hint. And she just said, it was supposed to be, this, you know what I mean, to this extent or what have you. Well, I mean, what trouble is she going to get in? She's not under contract.
Right.
She's not under contract. The story that you put out on screen isn't what we were going to get. So what does it matter if she told what those was going to be? You know what I mean? We're finding out shit. We're finding out shit from Wes about what Wes Craven wanted to do for 5, 6, and 7. And I will say this, man, especially with Sam's character, from what I see, I think they're pulling what Wes Craven wanted to do with Jill with Sam. Because remember, I don't know if you heard about this, Wes Craven, his initial plans for Jill Roberts were that she was supposed to be a Ghostface killer who survived and made it to the sequel. And that Sidney did not remember anything that happened that night. She was supposed to, Sidney survived, but she don't remember anything that happened. She didn't remember Jill as a Ghostface, nothing. And I feel like Radio Silence, to so many ways, are doing that with the Samantha Carpenter character. But that's just my perspective on that.
In our face, yeah.
Right, and just putting it in our face and stuff. I'm really confident that's what they're doing. Could I end up being wrong? Sure. You know what I mean? But so far, especially for Scream 6, a lot of the stuff we predicted has come to fruition.
Yeah. I think that what they're doing with Sam is just Billy and Billy's blood is the ultimate killer. And none of these killers can stand up against it.
Got you.
I think they're going to do that, but yeah, you're absolutely right about that, man. They could be doing that, man.
Well, see, this is another reason why I believe that too, is because Bailey's dialogue to Sam about the motive. You know what I mean? When he says all the best lies are based on the truth. Mm-hmm. You're a killer, just like your father. And this is why I say, especially if Samantha was in cahoots with Richie would tell his father that because of their close bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as soon as I heard that, I was just like, that's interesting the way he worded that. You know what I mean? Like, as if he knew she was a part of it, and then she turns around and kills his son. So now Detective Bailey thinks that Samantha turned on Richie when it was really the opposite way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, and bro, this is another thing I said too. Especially, and this is only in the context as if we don't get Stu Macher revealed alive.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, then you got to start thinking, because I will never believe it was Amber Freeman who killed Dewey Riley. And that point, you got to start thinking maybe it was Detective Bailey in that scene. And the only reason why I say that is, well, the only two reasons why I say that is, one, Detective Bailey seemed more ingrained in the stab shit than he tried to let on. He definitely was, especially to go out of his way to help Richie like that. He definitely did like that a lot more than he let on. And then we get the second one. And my man sits there and says, basically, I ain't even gonna lie, I lost my fucking train of thought, man. You like that, don't you?
No,
I set that up for that. I set it up for that because I'd so lost my train of thought when I was on the first one. So I so set it up for that. But no, this fucking guy, man, like, honestly, like, the reason why, the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
And that scene with Dewey and Richie's reaction. Remember, we all think they want us to think that's Amber in that scene. So Richie's reaction is like, oh shit, my partner's in trouble. I believe that would make more sense if he thinks that's his dad underneath that costume.
Oh,
that's why he looks so concerned.
Oh shit, dude. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I saw Bailey and I'm like watching this, and I'm just like, well, if Stu doesn't return, you can make the argument that honestly, two people could have killed Dewey, and it could have been Detective Bailey. And even though I know Jason basically said earlier, well, Jason said in the film, Laura was like his first time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we know in that moment.
Yeah.
But, and I think it's unlikely that it would be Jason, but the only reason why I bring Jason's name up, he has the same voice modulator that the one in the hospital did in Scream 5 and that Richie had in Scream 5 as well.
Hey, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yep. He has the same voice modulator.
Hey, do you recall in Scream 6, if you'll miss it really quick at the very beginning, but do you hear it?
Yes, that's why I said that.
It beeps up. It goes.
Yep.
Pew.
Yep, that's why I said that, bro.
I was like,
as soon as I heard that in the theater, I said, and he takes the mask off, I'm like, this motherfucker had to be involved.
Yeah.
Like, because then throughout the entire movie, you don't see the family have that.
No, they don't.
They don't have that. And I will say this is another editing error, though, on Radio Silence's part, is that when he takes off the mask and puts it on the mantle, you don't see the voice changer come out of it. He had to have to
show it a little bit. They need to show it a little bit. Yeah.
Right, because he clearly has it on when he kills Laura, when he says, now I see something red. He has it on.
Yeah.
So why when he puts the mask on the mantle and you don't see him put it in the bag, that when he takes the mask off to reveal himself to Laura, that thing would have fell out.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean? So that was definitely an editing error. But yes, bro, I definitely caught that. And that's why I said, Jason, especially, if not Greg, Jason especially is part of the Stab subreddit. He has that same damn voice modulator that Richie and Amber used.
Yep.
The same exact one. But again, man, what do you think about that Atlanta connection with Kirby, man? That shit is funky, bro.
Yeah. There's something
do you
there
think
to
we'll
chew
get something in 7 that kind of like reveals what's up about that? Like,
absolutely, dude.
I hope so.
I think there's more there than I think that either they're going to, the writers are going to realize that now and be like, we need to keep making Kirby a suspect,
Right.
and then but they're still going to have to explain it.
Right.
He's not. Or they're going to forget about it and then reveal that Kirby is, and then we're all going to look back at Scream 6 and being like, yeah, there was shit from that, you know? Like there's some truth to all of that. Like I just feel like I love seeing Kirby back, but I'm just like, who picked her wardrobe? Who the fuck said this is like, you feel like you're in a completely different movie and tone right here. Like it just doesn't seem.
She's the real life Tiffany doll, bro.
Yeah, exactly. She seems like she's like Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil games or something.
Bro.
Like I'm like,
And
dude,
what do we know about the Tiffany doll? Just saying, bro.
she's psycho.
She's a fucking killer, man.
Yeah.
Like,
But man, I think there is some more there to chew on. I think there is some more connections there.
right.
I think that Kirby could be working alongside, whether it's with Danny, whether it's with a brother-like character with Sam and Tara, whether Danny is that long-lost half-brother or whatever from Tara's dad, you know?
Right.
He could be half related to Tara, but not Sam. you
Right.
know? But yeah, dude. Like it's still. I think it's still gonna have like. I don't think we're gonna have like a. It's just gonna be the brother aspect. I think we are gonna get something like that. I think we're gonna get a brother aspect, but I think there's gonna be another layer on there, whether that be with Kirby, whether that be with Jennifer Jolie, which I really like that idea.
I do too, man.
I want to see the voice modulator from Scream 3 return. I feel like it has to.
Bro, it's already has returned. I'm sold on it from Scream 5.
I think it
I'm
has
sorry.
to.
I already think you can make that argument it was, because if they want us to believe that this is Richie or Amber on the other side of that phone talking to Tara, you have to explain how they use Roger L. Jackson's original voice. You have to explain that, and then cut over to Ghostface's voice. You have to explain that. There's no other way that happens. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no other way that happens unless that's the other voice modulator. You know what I mean? And considering what we know about Richie in the Shrine, he would have that.
Yep.
You know, so
it's got to be a piece of evidence that's missing from this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, man. Like, it's
because if you weren't going to use it, you would have had it there in the Shrine. Why not?
Right. I honestly think what they're doing and what Scream 7 is going to encapsulate for us, especially if Radio Silence doesn't intend to do another one, why they are mirroring the first 3 films, or at least the first 2 from what we got, why they are mirroring the original 3 trilogy is because they are doing the original 3 trilogy, the original 3 movies with before our eyes with these new characters, but the killers are playing out the movie. This is their movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I think they're doing, bro. Like, I really do. Especially when Samantha says, you know, I'm asking you because you're in one now. You're in my movie. When she asks Detective Bailey, what's your favorite scary movie? You know what I mean? You're in my movie. You know what I mean? My movie, the movie that my father started from the beginning that he didn't get to finish with Stu. Me and Stu are finishing this story, and we're finishing this movie. You know what I mean? We're rewriting the franchise basically before your own eyes. You know what I mean? And I like that concept. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty damn cool concept if it does turn out to be revealed as such. Because who would have thought about that concept? these motherfuckers are basically mirroring the original 3 films because what they are doing with the characters are basically have them playing it out before our eyes, and that whoever this killer is remaking the franchise.
Yeah.
I like it. You know what I mean? Like it's innovative in my opinion if they go that direction. But even if they do, they have to shore up some things. They really do. And for me, the number one thing you have to shore up is how the hell does Sidney Prescott know that woman was Billy's daughter?
Yeah.
You know, you got to shore that up, man. Like, you know, one thing I want to ask you about, and especially, do you think it will play into Scream 7? Something interesting as well that Radio Silence said about the Kirsch Bailey family is that they are from the Midwest, which means they're not from California. Now, one of those Midwestern states happens to be Illinois. Where is Sidney Prescott supposedly living at? In Chicago. You know, like, could there be a tie-in to that in Scream 7? You know, especially with the mother being out there.
You know,
man.
A lot of people don't want to admit it. A lot of people don't want to say it. But I have said it a few times on my channel.
Sidney's a killer?
No.
Uh-oh. Kincaid? Bro, it's funny you said that because I thought about that too, to a degree.
I mean, it's like, seriously, he could have been working with Roman.
Maybe they're Kincaid's family?
I mean, you think about it. Kincaid won. He's obsessed with Sidney Prescott. He has her. He's married to her. He has kids with her. But he's got to loosen up these ends with Sam.
Yeah, because
especially if she's Sidney's child.
And he knows about it.
Yeah.
Man, that's interesting. It could be, man. You know what I thought of too? And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this. But I want y'all to give me a chance on this because I personally think it would be digestible, at least in an understanding way. Now, when we get introduced to Sidney in Scream 5, we know she's pushing a stroller, so we can assume she has 2 young ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just go with the idea that it was a fake out. That wasn't that was just, you know, there to make it look like she has 2 young children, right? What if, now granted, obviously, you know, because we don't know what their real last names are. But what if they really wanted to twist this shit up, that was Kincaid and the kids? Like, you know, what if that was Kincaid and the kids? You know what I mean? And she don't have no young ones. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at the ages of Ethan and Quinn's characters, around the time that Sidney got with Mark, so we will say 2000, that was when Scream 3 came out. Let's just safely assume that maybe in 2002, 2003, they had kids. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Their kids would, by the time this movie comes out, would be 19, 20 years old. They'd be college students.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What if this is Kincaid, you know what I mean? Richie was a son to a different woman. And then obviously these kids are to Sidney. Because there's something, man, and I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? But there's something that really intrigued me in the dialogue with Sidney's character in this film. Is that she took the kids and Mark to a safe place. What did Kirby Reed tell Samantha Carpenter about the shrine? Don't worry, this is a safe place. You'll be safe here. Man, listen. And the reason why I believe it could be done to turn Sidney Prescott into a killer, if you will, and somebody who put things together to take Samantha out, is because, you know what I mean? She knows that's Billy's daughter. And by Samantha being alive, this is never going to stop. The Ghostface legacy, it's never going to stop. So the only way to stop it is to become one yourself and try to stop Sam before it gets to that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or before Sam turns and comes to take you out. You know what I mean? Especially if Sidney, let's just go with the argument, Sidney is her mother. And Sam doesn't know that part yet. She wouldn't want Sam to find out. Because then, being that Sam is Billy's daughter and we see it in 2 films in this franchise, she's got that killer instinct in her. You know what I mean? And I said this, to Bob when we were talking about this, because he said, oh, well, if, Sidney did basically reveal herself to be Samantha's mother, I would like to see, them kind of come out of that and have a relationship. I said, nah, there's no turning back out of that. Yeah. Because now Samantha's going to really feel betrayed. You sat here in my face and didn't even have the decency to tell me the truth. You want to sit here and play like you my savior, but you didn't even have the decency to tell me that you really my mom. Nah, there's no turning back. And then on top of that, you trying to have me killed? You're behind all this? Nah.
I don't think they'll make Sidney.
I don't think so neither. I'm just saying, like, as of some far out there theory. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Just in the point that Samantha Carpenter is Billy Loomis's daughter. Does Sidney really think this is all going to stop, or she's never going to stop being a target as long as she's alive? You know what I mean? Because this is something that Scream 6 actually did wrong as well, which is still why you needed Sidney Prescott in this movie. What did Bailey say? Anybody who had anything to do with my son's death suffers and dies, right? Well, Sidney had something to do with his death. But yet, she's not in this film, and it doesn't look like you were intended to go after her. Yeah. Why was you intended to go after her?
Detective Bailey and Detective Kincaid could... I don't know. Hey, I gotta go to the restroom.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, buddy. You already know.
I always think about that scene in Friday After Next. It's Pinky. I gotta go pee.
I gotta go pee. You fucking Pinky. Right. All right, buddy. Real quick, Val, I know you're probably out of the chat by now. I'm sorry I've had this up for a little bit, but Val, if you are still here or if you happen to come back and rewatch the rest of the stream, thank you for helping out with modding and all that stuff, and just thank you for being such a pillar here in the community. Got mad love for you, Val, and you get some good rest, and I will talk to you later. That's right. No, Jamie, you are right about that. I even forgot about that for a split second. It's actually off to the left, right when they're walking into the shrine. That is right. But you don't see any of Stu or Charlie. Another thing that's interesting too, Jamie, I don't know if you caught this, but outside the shrine, when you see that big graffiti art of Ghostface on the side of the wall, if you really zoom in on it, and I don't care what anybody says, it looks like Kirby Reed to me. It looks like there's a piece of graffiti art that is drawn of Kirby Reed when she's sitting in a desk at Cinema Club. That's what I took from it. I actually did a video about it. I definitely do think that that's Kirby Reed on that graffiti in the wall. Okay, Vampire's Coffin said Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be on Peacock also. Awesome, yeah. I'm definitely going to peep that out, especially with Matthew being a villain in that film. Yes, Jamie. Yes, me and Golf and Scream 7 would be awesome. All right, so I'm way behind, so I'm going to zoom up here. Yo, Dino, what's going on, man? I hope you're having a great night. I hope if you're still here in the chat, What's going on, my friend? And yeah, you're welcome for coming on, for coming on the stream the other night, man. I seen you said thank you for having me. I mean, having me on, in the chat and stuff like that. Yo, Dino, anytime, brother. You already know, man. You know how we get down, man. You good people.
Dino.
Yeah, I had Dino here on the stream the other night, and Dino, and I'll say it again, he saved the stream the other night because I was having technical difficulties. That's when I realized my router box, the Ethernet ports was blown. So I was trying to figure out how to, figure out if it was just the internet or what, if it was just messing up. And Dino held the chat down for like 20, 25 minutes while I was trying to fix this shit.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's super cool. I am gonna have to like call it here soon, Marcus.
Yeah, I know. I figured that. We've been going for like 3 hours, bro.
I'm exhausted, man. I got to get up in like 5 hours.
Yeah, you gotta get to work and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I say we go another 5 minutes and then we end it there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, sounds good to me because we have been streaming for 3 hours. Man, that went fast. Holy shit!
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Wow.
These streams always go fast with you,
always,
brother, man. Like
when you're having great conversation.
Yeah. It just like it's like, man, just like time speeds up.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. Real quick, Dino says fresh hoodie, Marcus. Thank you, buddy. Loving the shirt too, Destin. Hell yeah, we looking fly as hell.
Yeah.
Had to come in looking fly for the stream. Wayne Turner's in the chat. What's going on, Wayne? Wayne says, I want a secret cult in 7. Sam dresses up as Ghostface and goes Dexter style. Great until she kills an innocent person. Cult led by Stu. Other members, Angelina, Charlie, Stu Sis, and Kirby. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, Wayne. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Jamie says Marcus fell off the Stu's train of thought. Yeah, that was a great moment. That was such a great moment. Oh man, it really was, because like I said, right when I was still talking about the first reason, I was in the middle of it, and I'm like, yo, I've so fucking totally lost the second reason, but we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna set it up. Fuck it, you know what I mean? It happens. But okay, so let's get to some more. This is interesting. DeMarcus Hammond says Tara is following Jill Roberts' path. She even wore her style of clothes in Scream 6. I mean, possibly. I mean, listen, they definitely did tease something there with Tara by having her laugh with killing Ethan. I'm not going to say that they didn't show that, but me personally, and I'll say it again, I just think that would be a grave mistake if they ever turned her into a killer. That's just me, though.
Yeah, especially at this point, if you were going to do it in this one, in Scream 6, not later on. After this, it was like you more built that bond, of the sisters. Like I don't
Right.
know. I don't think they should do it now.
Scott Walker says, if Stu did kill Dewey, why did he say yesterday it's an honor? What does that mean? Why does that have to? What does it have to do with Stu? And why would he say that to Dewey? Well, see, Scott, if it is Stu, the reason why he would say that to Dewey is because it's an honor to kill him, because they should have killed him all the way back in 1996.
Right. He's a legacy character that should have that was there at the beginning with him.
Right. Right. And just like you hear in the dialogue in Scream 6 with Gail's phone call, when Ghostface says, don't you know, Gail, the legacy characters are disposable now. Nobody cares about yesterday's heroes. So then why fuck with me? Call it nostalgia. Why? Who would that be nostalgic for?
Yeah.
One Stu Mocker. And that phone number, bro. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. What?
You didn't see the phone number that called Gail?
No. What?
707 Woodsboro area code, brother. Yeah, I'll send you the link to my video. Yo, bro, it's the 707 area code that called Gail Weathers.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. Bro, when I was in the theater and I saw it the first time, and then I said, okay, you know what? Maybe my eyes was playing tricks on me. So when I go tomorrow night, the second time, I'm going to really hone in on that and see.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as that phone call came through, I like leaned in the chair, like I leaned in as best as I could, and I saw numbers, and I was just like, whoa. We didn't get that before. We didn't get that in Scream 5. It was an unknown number. When I get back to the house, I'm getting on my link and I am going to check this out. It is going to be something's got to give here. There's a reason they did that. Bro, when I zoomed in on that, that shit said 707, something, something, something. But as soon as I said 707, I seen that before. Went back to Scream 5. Amber's area code 707. Looked it up on Google. California Woods basically connects to Tacoma or whatever it's called. Sonoma, California, where Stu Macher's house is.
Damn, dude.
Bro. Oh, another thing, and I don't know if you caught this. The way that Ghostface was about to stab Gail with both arms on the knife and over top of their head.
Yes.
That's Stu Macher, baby.
I
Like,
know. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, man,
bro,
she's
like,
about to be gone. And she probably should have been, but
yeah, bro,
oh
it's
man.
crazy, man. I'll send you the link to the video and stuff so you can check it out. But bro, 707 area code, it's going down, man. Like, and there's a couple little subtle clues. That Sister Pam, her YouTube channel, she did a video about Gail calling Ghostface dipshit. The only time you ever heard her refer to Ghostface as dipshit is in '96 with Billy and Stu, when she says the reporter left for dead in the news van.
Stumbled on YouTube dipshits.
Stumbles on YouTube dipshits. Yes. And then there's another clue when when Gail says, it doesn't work out well for the dipshits in the mask. And Ghostface says, oh, well, they sure leave a mark before they go, don't they? Richie and Amber carved up Dewey, or happened to butcher Dewey, carved him up like a Christmas goose. Well, the two thing that's really interesting in that dialogue is radio silence, ever since that scene happened with Dewey, has been hell-bent on making us believe that Amber was the one to kill Dewey, right? But yet, in that sentence, they refer to it as Richie and Amber. They don't give Amber full credit for killing Dewey. And then the Christmas goose line. The only time in the franchise you've ever heard Christmas referenced or uttered out of any character's mouth is Stu Macher in the hallway scene at the high school.
Damn.
When he says, are you kidding me? Look at this place. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, bro, telling you, man, like, especially in that scene with Gail, for me, I was like, yo, man, they really pressing it with the Stu, man. Like, you know what I mean? And it's going to be interesting because we don't know for sure whose number from Woodsboro that is.
Yeah.
But we know it's a Woodsboro number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody literally tried to debate me on that and was like, oh, it's just your assumptions. This is clickbait and this and that. I'm like, bro, look it up. There's only 1707 area code, even in real life, and it belongs to California.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and stuff like, it's crazy, man. But yeah, I'll have to send you that, bro. So real quick before we head out, what are your way too early predictions for Scream 7? Where are we going to be in Scream 7 in terms of location? And how do you think it's going to play out? What will the story be about? As well as, will it be the last movie that Radio Silence does?
I do think it's going to be the last movie that Radio Silence makes. So it's going to feel like a conclusion, but there could be an opening. It could still be expanded upon. I think we will get some sort of conclusion with some things. There'll be some other questions that are raised within it. I think that we are, as much as I would love to go to like another setting, like we said, like a tropical setting, We could go to the Bahamas. We could go to a cruise. We could go to London. We could go to wherever. I do think that we are going to mirror Scream 3 a bit. And I think we're going back to Woodsboro in some capacity. If it's not the full movie, it will be the second half. We will end up back in Woodsboro at some point. And I do think that we're going to be dealing with some sort of new stab movie being made. Like the stab films being made in Woodsboro now. It could be being made in another location. It could be being made somewhere else. I don't know. We might go to Windsor College. I don't really see that happening, but it could. That's what I think. I think we are headed back to Woodsboro in some capacity. I think as much as we've already been there, we've been there, done that. I think it's going to feel a little bit different with the whole movie aspect and Hollywood being in Woodsboro. That's what I think. I think that that's a very smart choice to make on the filmmakers. Or they could just go on a cheap route. I mean, I don't want to say cheap. That's a wrong choice of words, but they could go on an easier route on, oh, there's Ghostface killings. Nope, we're just going to get the hell out of Dodge, and they go on vacation and shit occurs,
Right.
I think one or the other for sure.
I think it's definitely a possibility for what you said about the stab movie. I actually like that as a smoke screen for the actual real movie, like I talked about, the remake of the franchise that I think they're really doing with our killers and stuff like that. I think them bringing that stab movie to Woodsboro will actually be a perfect smoke screen, because then you don't know really what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
People think it's part of the movie, but it's really not. It's part of the plan. They're all getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it kind of would be a nice nod to, what Roman was kind of doing by killing off his cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And stuff. And I think that in Scream 7, a lot of shit that we thought we knew is going to be revealed to the forefront. Now, I will say this. It's going to be interesting what rules they're going to operate on. Are you going to be operating from Scream 96 rules about something that we didn't know from back then, or Scream 5, because Scream 5 is supposed to be the new Scream 1996? So is there something from Scream 5 that you're going to pick up on that we didn't know about? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, man, but I definitely do think that in Scream 7, we're going to get 7 total Ghostface killers. Not just to match the movie number.
7?
Yes, buddy. Oh, brother, man.
I can see 4.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you, I really think there's a greater plan at work here, man. I really do. You know what I mean?
Everybody's the killer.
You know what I mean? Damn near. You know what I mean? Like, damn near. Like, bro, I really do think it's a lot more than, because you got to think this. In the original concept for Stu's cult, it was supposed to be 6 people plus Stu.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7. You know what I mean? Like, I personally think from what I've seen in Scream 5 and Scream 6, and the reason why I go that high of a number, think about it, bro. We already got 5 of them in Scream 6. So imagine how many of them are there if they're all working together. That stab subreddit, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, so I really do think that they set the stage. Well, in so many ways, wow, I'm kind of glad I thought about that. In so many ways, they hinted at that with these 2 films. 2 killers in Scream 5, 5 killers in Scream 6. Added up, that's 7.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So,
good point.
Bro, I really do, man. And I think, and this is just my opinion, that all of them are from Woodsboro. Even Danny himself, he could even be from Woodsboro that maybe we just never, you know what I mean, or from outside
Yeah,
of
and he
Woodsboro,
moved to
outside of that
Atlanta.
area,
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we
I could
see
see
Mrs.
that.
Loomis do it.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely interesting, man. But we are definitely gonna, be talking about this, a lot more
A
as
lot.
as long as we can get, some time to do it and stuff like that. Man, this was definitely fun, Destin. I know you got to get going, and stuff. You got work in the morning, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little tired myself. You know what I mean? Want to get ready for tomorrow's day of, putting out some content and stuff like that. I do want to say this, guys, keep an eye on the community post. I am going to be posting announcement for Patreon. I'm starting a new podcast over there. I'm basically going to be doing like 3 live streams a week. And how I'm setting it up is what I'm doing is I'm going to be talking about horror movies that are underrated and don't get much love. So basically what I'm going to do is feature 2 movies throughout the week, and then the last live stream of the week, the third one, I'm going to do a poll where you guys are going to vote on which one of these movies we're going to do a watch party on. So guys, just keep an eye on the community post for tomorrow and all that stuff. Like, so definitely got that coming out. I'm excited for that, man, because there's so much horror movies out there that are actually good that don't get no love and hardly get talked about. And not saying that I couldn't talk about it here on this channel, but I'm not gonna lie, I want to kind of keep this channel as more up to date. You know what I mean? With what's going on now, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And then use Patreon as a platform to talk about some older movies that don't get too much love. Stuff like Dr. Giggles, you know,
The
stuff like
Hills Run Red.
God, but bro, you took the words out of my mouth. The Hills Run Red. That is another underrated one. You know what I mean? There are so many underrated horror movies out there, thrillers as well, like The Bone Collector and stuff. That's another thing. Like,
Phantoms.
yep, bro, like just so many. The Relic.
The Relic. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hold on. To me, the most underrated sci-fi horror movie of all time, The fucking Faculty.
Yes.
The
That
Faculty.
movie is one of my
Badass.
favorites.
Badass, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. That is such an underrated classic. And it's stuff like that that I'm going to be talking about on Patreon. And, you already know, Destin, whenever we have time and we can, put it together, you can definitely join me for one of those fucking live stream conversations and stuff, buddy.
Hell yeah, man. Just tell me when.
Heard that, buddy. Yeah, we're going to have to definitely, I'm going to see what's going on here for the rest of the week. I would like to get you on for a conversation about Evil Dead Rise, and I'm actually going to be hitting up the Horror Show YouTube channel to discuss with them about doing that live stream interview for Dylan's New Nightmare. And then
Awesome.
I would like to do a live stream with you about that because one, I know Freddy's your guy, Nightmare on Elm Street is your franchise, but also much like myself, Dylan's New Nightmare is your favorite sequel. You know what I mean? So we definitely got to rip it up about that, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to see what Dave McRae is gonna do as Freddy.
I know, man. Like I've talked to Dave McRae, slightly,
right?
And like I'm really excited about that project. I really want to see it. And Scott, yes, The Ghost in the Darkness is such a great movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Scott, because I did forget about that for a second. Yeah, what's up with that Ghost in the Darkness?
Man, if you like a movie that is mood and atmosphere, great acting, and it's a true story, and it's not overblown with like CGI or anything like that. It's like it feels like a creature feature about lions in Africa.
Wow.
It's got Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, and they're hunters. And it's about these 2 lions that are just killing villagers, and they're hired to kill these 2 lions. It is so good, man. It's
well, you just said 2 legends, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out.
Man, it's great. It's great. I love that
Yo,
movie.
I will say this. Have you seen The Last Shift?
I know about The Last Shift. I know they just did like a higher budget remake, right? I
Malum.
want to check that out because that
Bro.
girl that's in the higher budget remake was in the Scream 3 season.
That's
MTV.
where I remember her as. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I knew I saw her somewhere.
Yeah. I was like,
Yo.
where do I know her from? And I was like, she's the girl in the season 3 of Scream in MTV.
Yo, that's right. Bro, I watched it last night.
Was it good?
Bro, it's fucking great. I love it.
I gotta watch it. I
But I will say this, bro. Watch Last Shift first, just so you can have a general idea of it, because it is the new one. Malum is slightly different in terms of story and direction, or whatever. But bro, Last Shift, even bro, that's really good too. For the low budget it was, that director did his thing, man. But Malum, he takes it to a whole nother level, man. This shit, bro, this shit is crazy.
I gotta check it out, man.
Yes. But yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about some Evil Dead Rise, some Dylan's New Nightmare. When you check out Malum, let me know, because we can do a live discussion about that. You know, I can't wait. I'm going to also see what's up with Eric about that as well, because he's the one who put me on to Malum and The Last Shift.
Okay.
And stuff. Yeah, bro, when you got a chance, check it out. It's worth it. It's really good.
It's on my radar, man. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm definitely
And
gonna check it out.
2 other movies real quick. Nefarious with Sean Patrick Flannery. I don't know if you've seen that trailer.
I don't think so.
Bro, check it out. That's all I'm going to tell you. Check it out. It comes out Friday. It comes out this Friday. And what is the other one? I just had it. Oh, Ben Affleck's new movie, Hypnotic. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah. And it's Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa. They got that dude who plays in Prison Break as the warden, like the villain or whatever. He's playing the villain, like, because he always plays the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, they got him in it. Yo, it looks so good, Destin. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like,
damn, I got to catch up.
Bro, they got some stuff that's coming out, bro. Like, it looks really
Mario
good.
Brothers.
How was it?
I loved it, man. I thought it was really
See,
good.
I want to watch it. That's my joint, man.
Yeah, man. I had a good time. I want to watch it again. Jack Black is Bowser.
Wario?
Man. No, he does Bowser.
Oh wow!
And he does like these music numbers or whatever. Like he's like singing his love to Peaches.
Nice.
Peach. It's so funny, dude.
Who plays Wario?
Nobody yet. I don't think Wario was in it.
Oh, he wasn't.
No. But they're
you
wanting to get
why I asked about Wario?
Pascal. They want to get him to play him.
You know, if they need somebody, I got somebody who can play Wario in the flesh. Like in the flesh, they don't need to cartoonize him. All they got to do is give him the costume.
What's that?
Yeah, there's this guy I used to work with when I did asbestos contracting, or whatever, and this is what he would call himself. You know, so you would understand this. So those who don't or who do, this ain't me insulting the man. This is what he told us to call him. But his name was Pato, or whatever. And stuff like that. His name, that's what he told us to call him. His name was Pato. Bro, I swear to God, the real life Wario before your eyes.
Oh shit.
That's serious, bro. The face, everything, especially when he would smile. Yo, bro, he would geek me. I would tell him, yo, I'm like, yo, Pato, they ever tell you look like Wario? And he would like, just start smiling. I'm like, yo, bro, don't do that to me because you look just like him. And he's just like, oh, come here, Marcus, come here. Why I look like Wario? I'm like, you look like Wario, bro. Like, dead serious. All you need is the hat and the overalls with the W on that shit.
Damn.
Like, dead serious. A real life Wario before my eyes, man. Like, it was crazy. Like, for real. I was working with him. I will say this about Wario. Motherfucker is a hard worker. He'll build you a house. Shit. He'll build you a house, no fear, and he won't use no tie off. He don't care if he fall down. He know he gonna get back up.
Yep. Damn.
Oh
That's
man.
awesome, man.
Heck yeah. But all right, everyone. This is a wrap to the stream. Destin's got to get to bed, and I do
Yeah.
too. Everybody, I greatly appreciate you all for stopping in. You guys are all awesome. Guys, you know, it's what's almost 3 o'clock here on the East Coast. I want to
Yeah.
say going on 2 o'clock there in Destin's time zone. You guys still hanging out here. You guys are amazing, y'all. So again, check out for the community posts. I will be posting the rest of the live stream schedule for the week on there, as well as my Patreon schedule, everyone. So again, thank you all for hanging out and all that stuff. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already. Please shoot that like button. As you know, it definitely helps out with the stream, as well as leave a comment at the end of the stream, because again, it helps out with the YouTube algorithm, everybody. Everybody get some rest. I will catch you guys later. And Destin, as you know, I will meet you backstage, friend.
Awesome. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a great night, everybody.